What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. It is good to see my beautiful people jumping into the chat room so quickly. Tonight, I got my producer in the house with me tonight. She's hiding though, but she is here. We are talking Emmanuel Haro. All right. We're talking Sebastian Rogers. Anybody remember that boy from Hendersonville? Okay. And we're talking Jack and Lilly Sullivan, two kids went missing, Nova Scotia, a lot like Emmanuel Haro, but in Canada. We're going to be talking all those things tonight. So if you're just tuning in, leave your DNA, your fingerprints all over the like button, just in case Lolo bites you in the face and comes on screen over here. Okay. She's an attack dog. You don't want that. So she said, if you don't like the video, she will bite you in the face, okay? And if you're brand new out there, sub up, ring the bell for notifications, and of course, feel free to share my face and little Lolo on any social media platform that you choose, okay? Now, let me give my warning because this stuff is going to get a little crazy, and some of the people we're talking about tonight are a little lawsuit happy, okay? They like to sue everybody, okay? So Dolly Visions for entertainment purposes. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion, people. Completely satire. The callers' opinions tonight are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on it. Dolly's ass. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty. And the biggest one of them all. Tell them, PJ, what's the biggest one?
Don't try to be Dolly at home.
Don't try to be damn Dolly at home, okay? You'll wake up looking like this and you don't need it. It's dangerous. Your head could explode. You could die. And I'm completely not responsible, okay? Completely not responsible. I kind of want to start it with Sebastian Rogers tonight, okay? Because we are heading south tomorrow. And, you know, we're going to be right in Sebastian's backyard, and we may stop in and do a little bit of searching on our way home for the young man, Sebastian Rogers, and sleuthing for some information. So I might want to start with Sebastian Rogers tonight. Are y'all cool with that in the chat room? I don't care if you're cool with it or not. It's my damn show. I talk about whatever I want to, okay?
You're scaring Lolo.
So anyway, over the last week, we have seen the father of Sebastian Rogers in front of the courthouse. Well, no, in front of Sumner County. Send me some of those videos real quick, PJ. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's been pleading for the police to do more in the safe return of his son, right? He believes his son is still out there. He is alive, and he wants the police to do something more to help find his son. He wants them to bring in the FBI, the damn CIA, the KGB, anything with some alphabets in it. Okay. He don't care. He don't care if they bring in some alphabet soup at this point. So he's been out there by his lonely self. Remember the Sebastian Army? Does anybody remember that? Everybody was, I'm Sebastian Army. I'm Sebastian Army. Anybody remember that? Anybody out there? But I don't know. That army dwindled like into one guy. Okay. Into one guy and Tel Aviv. We're going to get into that. Don't jump the gun, people. Don't jump the gun. Trust me. We're going to get into all that stuff in the clown show that is continuing to go on in the Sebastian Rogers case. I see some people out there saying Sebastian's Army still. No, see, I was never Sebastian's Army because I know armies fade, like Summer Wells's army, Michael Monkey Vaughn's army. I am Team Sebastian, okay? Now, these people that form these armies, I don't like to follow rules, okay? I play by my own rules. Team foul play. Team Sebastian, right? I was always Team Sebastian. I never was TikTok Tony, Sev, Bullhorn Betty. Team Chris and Katie, orange team is what I called them because, they needed to be in orange jumpers. I never was part of their armies, right? I don't follow rules good. I don't listen to the general. You know what I'm saying? I've always been Team Sebastian. To me, it's about these kids, not about the alleged parents, right? I don't care, especially when they're being accused, right? When they're being accused of horrible things, I just cannot back these people no matter what. I just can't do it because to me, I come up here to bring justice for these missing people and these kids. In Sebastian's case, there was a lot of stuff being done completely wrong in the beginning. Well, not the very beginning. The very beginning, for anybody that don't know, you just tune in. Maybe you've subbed up since Emmanuel Haro and you don't know the story of Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to tell you the story because it's quite a lot like Emmanuel Haro's. He was home alone with his mother, 15 years old though, not a baby, but special needs. And his mother said she woke up around 6 o'clock in the morning and Sebastian Rogers was just missing. No clue to where he was at. Said he just left the house in the middle of the night, never to be seen again. So far, it's been what, almost 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 2 years.
In February.
February 26th will be 2-year anniversary of Sebastian Rogers going missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He lived in a neighborhood, very nice neighborhood. Houses out there start at $700,000. So there's houses out there in his neighborhood that's at least $1.5-2 million homes in his neighborhood. So very, very nice area. Not your typical place of a kidnapping. And the crazy thing in this is they put out an Amber Alert for Sebastian Rogers, but there was no signs of kidnapping. There was no car. There was no description of a person that may have grabbed him. Okay. Nothing, just gone without a trace. So I just want to fill you guys in because everybody may not know who Sebastian Rogers is. Very important kid, but similar. Like I said, his mother never went out and searched for him. His stepdad came up on the internet, did some interviews, but the mother pretty much didn't do anything for the first year. And then on the 1-year anniversary of Sebastian Rogers going missing, the mother started doing a few interviews with the news where she appeared to be sad, heartbroken. But to me, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Kids, one thing kids do not do is they just do not just vanish. Now, since that 1-year interview at the 1-year anniversary, we haven't heard nothing. And I mean zero from the mother and the stepfather of Sebastian Rogers. No search parties, no events to bring awareness to his name. Nothing. Okay. I mean, when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. Now, I don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. I can only tell you what they're doing up here. So when Sebastian Rogers went missing, just like Emmanuel, I jumped on an airplane and I flew down to Hendersonville, Tennessee. They were asking for volunteers to help them search for this missing baby. That was the father, Seth Rogers. He came up on the news and he seemed like a broken-hearted man, and the whole internet just felt sorry for him, even me. Okay. So I fly down there to help, and he has the Raging Cajuns. They go by a different name, but we're just going to call them the Raging Cajuns, searching for the child, which was the biggest crock of BS ever because these dudes are the fakest non-profit organization out there. Okay. Just a scam, just scammers that all they cared about was being on the news, jumping in front of every news camera they could so they could promote the Raging Cajuns so people would donate to their nonprofit. They didn't give two damns about Sebastian. They wasn't half-ass searching. So I roll up. They cuss me out, threaten to call the police on me, right? Because listen, they didn't want cameras around because cameras would show them not doing anything, right? So they were real hostile to me, hostile to other YouTubers, and they didn't want us around filming anything. So they made a lot of threats, and at that point, this is where the circus started. After that, of course, the father started to put together his own searches when the Raging Cajuns moved along. They said they were getting threats, and these supposed to be some tough alligator wrestling dudes, but they were getting threats. Well, what they were doing is getting called out on the internet for being fake, and they wanted to jump ship quick as they could. So they abandoned the search for Sebastian Rogers. Okay. So the father aligns himself with every snake, crook, and con artist on YouTube. Can't make this stuff up. All right. And at this point, they stop looking for Sebastian altogether and try to come up with a way to sue YouTubers or anybody that they disagree with in their thoughts of what is going on with Sebastian. So they started taking out lawsuits on different YouTubers, and they aligned themselves with, like I said, every con artist, felon, old reality star, and this bullshit intelligence agency that we're about to talk about right now. Okay. So in this, there was a group of people that had just got out of prison. There was a guy that just got out of prison for fraud. Okay. Now, Seth decided he was going to align with this person that just got out of federal prison for fraud, for lying on, what was it, a congressman?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Faking emails.
Making
him seem racist.
Yeah, making this man seem racist when he wasn't, and he ended up going to federal prison, and he was out on probation, and he started this intelligence agent parole. He was out on parole. So why would somebody missing a kid get involved with con artists?
You missed a step.
And scammers.
You missed a step. There was the part where he hired a PR person.
Oh.
National spokesperson.
Yeah, well, I guess, yes. He got a national spokesperson, which had never had any experience as being a national spokesperson, which a lot of people believe that he was scamming under Caleb Harris's name, which Caleb Harris was a missing boy that fell into a manhole. Okay, he was actually fired from that, and Seth also aligned with this guy, and known on the internet is TikTok Tony. Okay. And then he aligns with this fraudulent intelligence agency that, like I said, the person had just got out of jail for fraud. Why would he do that? And then he starts raising money. Of course, he starts a GoFundMe, and he raises upwards of at least $25,000 in about a week?
That's in his sister's name. The Cash App and the PayPal were both not in his name also. And so now there's no clue and no trace of who got what and where it went.
Yeah, there's really no clue what he did with the money, because he never offered any of that money as a reward for Sebastian Rogers. So he just
stopped working.
We know when he closed down the GoFundMe, it was at 25, and every YouTuber had been posting his Cash App before that, even us, because we wanted to help. And there was alleged that he misappropriated the funds and was paying women's rent and stuff like that. Alleged, okay? But he aligned with these fraudulent people, this intelligence agency, and they brought in Dog, the old ass poodle, okay?
Didn't they bring him in though? I mean, did we ever see him anywhere?
Well, let's just say the dog don't have any teeth no more. The dog don't bite, okay? The dog don't apparently leave the porch anymore. He only got 3 legs, okay? I don't know. Something happened to the dog where he don't like to come off the porch, okay? So this old ass washed up celebrity, and you may go, Dolly, that is horrible of you to say. Listen, I really respected this man. right? His wife and what they did to catch fugitives in the past. I really did. I was a fan. I'll tell you now, I'm a fan of the show. But of the person, I am not a fan of the person. Okay, because this person got on TV, didn't know the child's name that he was looking for, didn't know the father's name of the child he was looking for. And the first thing he did was promote his new book. Okay, now I don't know if anybody bought this book, but if you did, you ain't the brightest person on the planet. Okay, I'm sorry to say that, but I had a lot of respect for this guy up until this point. So this guy was also aligned with the fake intelligence agency that the dude just got out of prison for fraud. Why would good people be teaming with somebody that just got out of prison for fraud in his own parole? Okay, so since that happened, this intelligence agency came out with a bunch of fake clues, fake sightings, and all these things. And you know, the crazy thing is, there were so many people talking about this case in the beginning. It was big. It was a big case, right? And then these people just ran everybody off, trying to sue people, threatening people. And now hardly anybody talks about Sebastian Rogers.
Well,
But
you forgot to mention that we were all told to F off.
the father told us to F off. Yeah, but he told us to F off when he was going to work with Chris and Katie Proudfoot.
He said if you didn't like it, to F off. Okay.
Yeah, he said if you didn't like it, to F off, that he was going to work with Chris and Katie. And then Chris and Katie decided they didn't want to work with him because he had created a circus around what was going on. Okay. So they came out with all these bullshit leads that was nothing, sightings and different states, and all. It always never panned out. Then they also started offering this ridiculous, crazy reward of upwards to it. Right now, what are they saying? Is $500,000?
I haven't seen anything on the reward.
Okay, do you believe somebody that just got out of prison for fraud is going to give you $500,000 as this kid turns up? Right? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they kept saying they were going to go to Tennessee and Dog was going to kick in doors. He was going to make citizens arrest. Chris and Katie was going to jail. They had the evidence against them. And that panned out to be absolutely nothing. Okay? Nothing. So these people were trying to build their brand off of Sebastian Rogers, and Dog was trying to promote himself, maybe to get him another show.
He had a book out.
Or that's what I'm saying, to promote his book. It was just to use this kid for a publicity stunt. Basic publicity stunt, which is absolutely sickening. And as a father, you think at some point you would say, hey man, y'all are not going to use my kid like this. You're not going to do this. This is unacceptable. You need to get the hell away from me. But Seth didn't. He allowed all these people to stay right around him and absolutely destroy the case. Absolutely destroy it. They were getting all these false tips to the TBI. And you know, the TBI, when you report something, they have to check all this stuff out. So you got all these people that are frauds interfering with the investigation. Myself, I think they should go to jail for interfering with the investigation. And the reason we're at this point now is because of a lot of what these people were doing. So their latest damn thing is Sebastian was seen. Tell them where he was seen at, PJ.
Tel Aviv.
How the hell did this kid get to Tel Aviv? Okay. That is really what they put out. Now they've said, well, we've checked that out. He's not in Tel Aviv. Every time there's any media attention on this case, this bullshit intelligence, It should be unintelligent agency, right?
At this point,
Unintelligent
it's a
agency.
joke. Every time
It,
they make a tweet,
and
it's a joke.
my thing is this: is my biggest problem with this is why don't Seth tell these people to F off? They've never helped him. They've never helped him one day. Listen, Seth was just sitting out there, and this is good to see. Honestly, look, when Seth does the right things, I appreciate when Seth is doing the right things. When he's doing the wrong things, you know, I talk a little shit. I do, right? Because I watched the horribleness of all these fake ass people surround. And I almost don't blame Seth because I know Seth's a hurting father and he trusted these people thinking these people would help him. But I tried to give Seth the best advice and tell him, hey, these people don't care about you. They're fake. And when you need them, they're not going to be there. In the end of this,
what I just sent you, that was their alleged sighting. There's pictures.
Okay, there's pictures.
And it's officially cleared that it's not him. Shocking.
Yeah. I mean, it don't take no brain surgeon. No, this boy's not in Tel Aviv. Okay. And they just could try to come out with, this won't load. My internet's being super funny. See how it says that?
I'm trying to think of how else to get it to you.
Email it to me.
Okay. Because that's real important. Because I mean, it doesn't look anything like the kid.
I know. So I mean, they've been fraud since the beginning, right? They've been fraud. Did you ever send me the video of Seth out in front of
I sent that too.
The jail? Email it to me because it's not going to open any other way.
Okay.
And Steph still is letting these people do this. Like he hasn't came up. Seth should have listened to Dolly. Absolutely right, because I was trying to help him out. I was really trying to help him out, telling him, hey, these people that you have aligned yourself with, what did I tell him? I said, in the end of this stuff, it'll just be me and you. It'll just be me and you. That these people don't care.
He doesn't want your help.
He don't want my help, right? Because I'm an honest person. I don't believe Seth tends to be around honest people. He wants people to tell him what he wants to hear, not the truth. You know, listen, some people just can't handle the truth. I'm real with everybody all the time, right? Some people I'm too real for, right? They don't want to hear that this child is dead. Okay, they don't want the truth. That this boy wouldn't have made it on his own. He wasn't an outdoorsman. He didn't have any communication with anybody else on his cell phone. The police had his cell phone. He hasn't been seen in almost 2 years. He left barefoot, no jacket, in the freezing ass cold. And people think this boy's alive, living his best life. Trigger warning, people. I hate to tell you, he ain't. It's just a matter of time before somebody kicks over a bone somewhere and they find Sebastian Rogers. This little boy's not with us. And these people pushing all this fraudulent shit. I mean, listen, it's great to be hopeful. It is. Listen, I was hopeful for the first year. You know, we looked into every lead ourselves of, did they put him in a home? Did they do this? Did they do that? But everything led back to, this kid is not with us. Stop filling people with false hope and get out there and search for his bones. He's not far from that house. I truly believe that. And listen, I've been in this shit long enough to know, just like when I said with baby Emmanuel, I was like, that kid ain't alive. That kid's gone. What is the police telling us? The kid's gone. I'm telling you in this case, this kid is gone. And I know it hurts Seth to hear that, but Seth has flipped back and forth between Sebastian's alive. This is a recovery mission. We've heard him say these things, right? And to see him out there alone by himself when all these people used the shit out of this man, it was hard to see. Now, I knew this was going to happen, but I'm going to be honest with you. I felt sorry for him, right? I truly, truly feel sorry for the man that he aligned all himself with these people. And where was they when he was standing out in front of this police house? When he was standing out in front of Craddock, where were these people at that said they would be by his side? Let me play this video for you guys. Give me 1 second. Watch on YouTube. All right, let's pull this over here. I want to share this with you guys. We pop this up on the stage. Bam. Let's blow it up.
I've never lost hope. My son is missing. He is not dead.
18 months later, and the mystery remains about what happened to this young man, Sebastian Rogers. The now 16-year-old seemingly vanished from his Hendersonville home in February of 2024. Patsy Montesino spoke with Sebastian's father, who is keeping the faith his son is still alive.
I want answers. Where's my son?
This father's love keeps his efforts to find his son going. Sebastian Rogers went missing in February of 2024.
I've got a lot of memories of my son, but I'm not done making memories, and that's the point.
During the first few weeks, there were massive search efforts looking for the autistic teen, but as time passed, they stopped. Now his dad, Seth Rogers, feels frustrated with law enforcement. He says they're not doing enough.
Nobody's been arrested, and my son hasn't been found.
That's why he's standing outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
So I can look at that window, so I can see them if they come out.
Joined by other supporters.
I am part of Team Sebastian. I just want answers. The community deserves to have answers.
Demanding another agency like the FBI get involved. I reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff with these concerns. In a statement, he said this is an active investigation. He says they continue to follow leads and coordinate with the FBI and TBI. He asked you to share the official Amber Alert poster and call them with any information as quickly as you can.
I think about Sebastian every single day, and it has gone on for way too long now. When we reached the 1-year anniversary, I couldn't believe it. And the fact that we're almost 2 years into it is so sad.
Those outside the office hope that by showing up, they can bring more attention to Sebastian's case and find any information that may lead to him.
I've never lost hope. My son is missing. He is not dead.
Seth says he will stay outside until at least Friday.
I haven't left.
On Friday.
Don't plan on leaving. I want my son found.
Reporting in Sumner County.
And tell us what you're doing to find him.
I'm Patsy Montesinos.
Sheriff Craddock, we need answers.
News Channel 5.
Okay, so you see the group super small, and it was even smaller the first day. It was like him and one woman out there, and then one day he took off because he had a headache. Okay, so but here's the thing: is what are you doing to find your kid, Seth? That's the question I would ask. Now, listen, I agree with him being out there protesting the police station. I truly do. But there's more that you could be doing. He searched for his son 4 days, 4 times. Three times?
Yeah.
And one of them was kind of staged. All right. The very first one with JLR, he's like, turn your camera on, get this. It was real weird. And, you're bitching about these people looking, but, and how much it's just strange to me. It's just very strange to me. Why not, took that money that you got and bring in search teams, bring in dogs, bring in underwater divers, things like that. And you could have did that, but none of that money has ever went to help find Sebastian, not to a billboard, not to nothing, which is a little disheartening, right? When you're screaming at somebody, hey, what have you done? If I was Sheriff Craddock, I'd have opened the window and been like, hey, Seth, what have you done? Why don't we work together, right? It's going to take a whole community to find this child, not just screaming at a window, right? Now, listen, I do believe in putting pressure on the police, right? I'm glad Seth did go out there. But Seth, he could be doing more. He could be putting search parties together for this child. He could be out there searching for this child. and he's not. That's been my biggest problem with Seth. I looked at him in the beginning like a sad father. Then it switched to you're opportunist, right? You seen a chance to score you some money and you did that. And then you just basically gave up on the kid, on the searching for the kid. My whole thing is this. If I lost my keys right now, the only way I'm going to find them is to look for them. Okay. But he'd rather chase these false leads that fraudulent ass people are given, right? And believe this stuff instead of accepting reality, right? He don't want to hear the truth. He wants people to say what he wants to hear. And that ain't helping bring Sebastian home. Now, as far as his mother and his stepfather, shame on these people. Shame on them. They should, if they have nothing to do with it, right? If they have nothing to do with it, like they say they don't, right? Why ain't they out there with Seth? Why ain't they out putting search parties together for this child themselves? Why ain't they bringing any awareness to this child themselves? Right? Or it's just, I don't even know what to say at this point about Sebastian Rogers, right? I don't even know what to say. It ended up a circus. It's horrible. And all these people now have, completely moved on and they don't even look back at it, right? They just like, oh, well, yon, right? Sebastian's just as important as any kid out here that's missing. All these kids matter. Every single one of them. I don't weigh one case out more than another, right? I gotta
say that you saying everything you said, there's comments that are being shared and some people are like, well, what's his mom done? You clear as day said shame on those parents because they're clearly the ones that were with the child at the time he was missing.
Absolutely.
And therefore, you're just because you're pointing out the fact this man is not searching for his son and that disappoints you doesn't mean that you don't see fault in the other side of who actually was with the child and did
absolutely. I just
wanted to make that clear because people don't see.
I think all of them failed this kid.
I did too.
Every single last one of them. They talk about, they were trying to put Sebastian in a home. They were trying to get rid of Sebastian, to be truthful with everybody. Seth was in on it too. Okay. Chris and Seth were talking on the phone and they were both looking for a home to put Sebastian in because they couldn't handle him. Right. So it's one of those situations. And not only this, they multiple times tried to give Sebastian to Seth and Seth didn't take Sebastian. Now, I'm sure Seth didn't think something was going to happen to Sebastian, but he was trying to buy time. Like, oh, I need more time before I can take him. I need more time before I can take him.
He says, according to his own words, he wanted him to finish the school year. And
yeah, I mean, that's understandable. But here's the thing. Seth, out of his own mouth, said that Sebastian said he wasn't being treated good at that house. They were talking to him like he was a piece of shit, and he didn't want to go back there. And Seth sent him back to that house.
And then he told the public he had no idea Sebastian was being mistreated.
Yeah, I mean, and he said, he's constantly contradicting himself. Now, I can believe that he's upset about his child going missing. I do believe that. That's probably real. But and some of that feeling bad may be a little bit of guilt because he had every opportunity where this wouldn't have happened. Okay, if he would have just took his son and said, all right, I'm not sending you back. They want you to come live here anyway. You're staying with me. But he didn't do that. He did not do that. And that's regret that he's going to have to live with probably for the rest of his life because this little boy is never coming back. Okay, he's gone. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's sad as can be, but it's just the reality of the world we live in. Now, is it possible that Sebastian Rogers is alive out there somewhere? I say, yeah, it is possible, but it's super, super slim. The odds of that is just unbelievable. Now, Seth was at work that day. Okay.
That's another conversation happening in the chat. People are arguing over whether or not he did something. Nobody said he did something.
No, I'm not saying ever. I've never thought Seth had anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. He also passed a lie detector test. Chris and Katie allegedly passed a lie detector test. And this kid is just gone. But my biggest thing is with Seth is why does he not stop these fraudulent people from doing what they're doing? He allows it. He allows it because I guess maybe he thinks it brings attention to his son and they're helping. I believe these people are hurting the case. And then they lost the lawsuit against YouTubers. Okay. They were suing, what was it? Barbecue Lady and Granny's watching. And they were just covering the case and they were talking negative about Seth. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that. Everybody wants to paint him out to be this great guy. He is a father of a missing child. So we got to give him that, right? We got to give him that. But why surround yourself with all these fraudulent people? Why not put that money you raised to go towards helping look for this child? Why ain't you out there searching for your child? It's just like you want attention. It's like he just wants attention. And you ever seen somebody that didn't get much attention in this world, and then all of a sudden they get some attention, and then they just can't get enough of it? Like everything's about being on camera or the news,
but
right?
They were gone for a while. I want to know what made them all suddenly come out and make posts that the poor child was seen with AI technology in Tel Aviv at the same time while suddenly Seth is standing in front of the sheriff's office.
Because they're frauds. They don't have, nobody would listen to shit they said or watch anything they do unless they made up a story. So to get attention, they make up this story so people watch it. And they're monetized on X, right? So the more people that go read the posts and watch their little videos, it's that little tiny AdSense revenue that they get, and that's all they're doing it for, right? They're trying to build a name off of this child. And just think about this, all the donations that went into Seth's channel. Where is a real reward? The only reward for this child is $50,000 from the FBI. Not one family member has put up one penny for reward for this child. Not one. Okay. How bad do you really want the child found if you ain't looking? Now, does he miss his kid? Probably most definitely he misses his kid. But he is being a little lazy is what I would consider it. Because I can tell you now, if my child was missing, I'd be boots on the ground every day searching. I'd kick over every rock in Tennessee.
See, you're different. If that was your child and you had found out that there was alleged SA, it's a little bit different, I guess, that it's male.
Yeah, I'd be in prison. I'd be in prison because I would try to destroy everybody like a psychopath.
You would have gone to court and done what was necessary
to get my kid. Yes, absolutely. So when I see this going on, I honestly, the first thing I go to is, what would I do as a parent? I am a parent. I have a daughter. She's 25. I went and seen her today. What would I do? How would I act if this happened to me? And then I judge everybody off of that, right? Like, dude, you got to put in the work. Okay, people, they want to talk and hope just magically Sebastian's going to fall into your lap. That shit ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Like, I would have a search party together every day, just like they did in Elijah View. Remember, they searched every day for Elijah View, especially the first in the beginning. This man literally, in a court document, said he searched for his kid 3 or 4 times. That's it. Like, that ain't shit. I hate to say it. I'm not even trying to give a man a hard time. I feel sorry for him. I still feel sorry for him. And I pray that Sebastian is found so he can get the proper burial that he deserves. And it's hard to support Seth when he's still allowing these people to come out and do fraudulent shit. Like, when I hear this Tel Aviv stuff, and it's like, man, come on. Can we get serious, get real here? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how does this kid get to Tel Aviv? I can't.
Just like when they said
I couldn't even get into
satellite.
Canada. Okay, I couldn't even get into Canada because I ain't got a passport.
Remember when they claimed they had
Satellite
intelligence?
images and the satellite wasn't even up in the sky yet.
But the person that they at signed on Twitter or whatever responded saying, oh, that's nice, but our satellite hasn't been in play yet or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I mean,
so they said they had satellite images, right? This intelligence agency. And they tagged the satellite company in their post. And the satellite company responded to it and said, well, our satellites won't even be in the space the next year. Okay, so how the hell did they have satellite images? They didn't. It's all been fraud the whole time. And instead of Seth standing up to these fraudulent ass people, he allowed them to be around him.
Ministry of Defense says, PJ, what about the teen neighbors? Why is no one talking about them?
The neighbors?
Are we talking about binoculars, lady? Is that what?
Oh my God!
Because I can't.
See, that's where when these people start spreading this misinformation, is where it gets so bad, right? Nobody seen Sebastian that night. He was in the house. Okay, when they woke up, allegedly to them, all the doors were locked, and she was asleep on the couch. How did he get out without her hearing it? They have little dogs. Okay, we got little dogs. You can't move without them dogs barking. So the story itself don't add up. Now, does Katie have something to do with this? I would say yes, absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, but that's just my opinion. I have no proof to that, right? I have no proof. And that's the reason they're not in jail. The police don't have any proof. They found no evidence in the house. They went in and did forensics in the house and didn't find anything. Katie passed a lie detector test. Chris passed a lie detector test. Seth passed a lie detector test. So what do you do in a situation like this? This case is just another one of those Tennessee cases.
Brightfoot says, what about the video of her carrying him out? Ha ha.
That was a joke. Nancy Grace took the whole shit down because of that clown with the monkey. Okay. Lying about who he was, lying about his husband, lying about the damn picture, overlapping photos, making up shit. Right. That's what I mean by surrounding yourself with fraudulent people.
And then I have to address this one. Someone says Seth won't take one with the TBI though, and the person after that says no, Seth didn't. He fell asleep. If y'all really think Nancy Grace is going to sit there and give him credit for taking and passing a lie detector with an FBI specialist she credited as like the best expert in the field and be lying about it, you're crazy.
Yeah, but I don't believe lie detector tests anyway.
I don't really either.
Yeah, I mean, you can't use them in court.
I've had one done on me, and I could totally see how I probably would fail every time because I would probably be sitting there thinking about what if I did this and they're talking about this, and I overthink everything. But I don't. The fact that he supposedly was asleep.
Okay, here's the thing. Somebody people say about the neighbor's kids. Listen, so the neighbor's kids, this is what you allege, and when you even suggest that these neighbors' kids did something to Sebastian and they did something to him, but he's not on video anywhere else in that neighborhood. They did it without it being on camera, without any evidence, without nothing. That's ridiculous. The only people that are responsible for that kid going missing is the mother sitting in that house. Okay. That mother just happened to have her car parked in the garage that night and never usually parks it in the garage. The only people that are responsible for this, they're the people that were supposed to love and protect this child, in my opinion. Okay? The only people that were supposed to love and protect that child. Now, if Seth wants to protest something, he should be outside of Chris and Katie's house screaming, "Where's my baby?" Okay? He should be right out in front of that house like you seen in California, like you seen in Quentin Simon's case in Georgia. I'd have all them people posted up at their house and I wouldn't let them get a one night sleep until they were ready to give up where that baby was at. And you have to search. You have to search. And that's the one thing that is what pissed me off the most in the very beginning. everybody just stopped searching for this baby. And then it became about YouTube drama, suing people. Sebastian was lost in the mix a year ago. Okay. He was lost in the mix a year ago. And look how everything's going. Now, did you see a clown show in Emmanuel Haro? Did you see all that? No, you didn't. You didn't see that. I mean, because it was a lie, it moved rapidly. The police did. I wish it would have went the same way in the Sebastian Rogers case. DOLLY, KP packed up and left the house right away too. That is absolutely.
We said that she was the one that was responsible, like 15 times. Just
Yeah,
now. You said she's the one that was responsible. We
covered up by Chris P. I think so too.
I still think he was there. I don't care what anyone says.
Well,
he slipped up too many times. And
no, I mean the police ain't that stupid. The police
haven't said what they've got though.
Yeah, but police said they were vetted. He told them he was at work. I can guarantee you they checked his work to see if he was there. I guarantee that. Police ain't that damn dumb. I mean, come on now. I know everybody thinks the police are stupid.
This is the same argument.
They don't have anything. If they had anything, they'd be in jail.
Not
they don't
necessarily. They may have enough.
They don't have shit. They don't have. They got the same thing they had February 26th. Nothing. They got nothing, and they ain't gonna get nothing because there's nothing to get. If they did something with this baby, they hit him so good that he's not going to be found. It's hard to find somebody underground.
What about the Hatfield and McCoy's interview and what Chris saying how either the kid's going to be found, and he distances himself so much when he talks about this child, like the mother and her son. Like,
well, we know nobody cared about the kid. They were going to put him in a home. They were trying to get rid of him. So why would he talk like he cared? He didn't care, right? So if he gets up there and acts like he cares, then he just sounds even faker because we know he didn't give a shit about the kid. We know his mother apparently don't give a shit about the kid. Because here's the thing. We don't know if she failed him in life, but we know he's gone and she's failing him right now, right? So if she's neglecting this child like this right now, how do you think she did when he was alive? I mean, the dude would beat him. He would throw his toys away. He made him wear a diaper. You know, they didn't want a messed up child. They wanted the little girl that didn't have any problems, right? They wanted that little girl. They didn't want him because he was too much. That's just my opinion, right? They didn't want him. They didn't want a kid with special needs. They didn't know how to handle that kid with special needs. They wanted the perfect little girl. Right now, they're gonna go get the other kid. They're gonna go to Disney World. Did Sebastian ever go to Disney World? You ever see any pictures with him with Mickey Mouse and Disney World and living his best life?
Actually, Seth did have photos of Sebastian at SeaWorld. So I mean, he did go through stuff.
I'm talking about Chris and Katie here. Seth, I believe, loved his son, but just didn't want to take responsibility. Okay, he didn't want to take responsibility for his son. I ain't saying he didn't love his son. I'm just saying he didn't want to take responsibility for his son. And in the beginning, he did because he didn't want to work. He didn't want to work. I hate to say it. I think Seth's a lazy ass guy. I just do. What makes me think that is you hear his backstory. Katie had to go out and earn the bacon while he sat there and watched Sebastian because his ass wouldn't work a real job. He worked as a pizza guy. Now listen, I ain't trying to hate on no pizza guys out here, right? Don't get mad at me if you deliver pizzas. But that ain't a career. That ain't no career delivering pizza. That's some shit a college dude does or a teenager does to make some extra bread. That ain't a career. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, he's not doing enough. He ain't doing what I would do. To me, it's a sign of laziness, right? Just my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with that.
That doesn't mean he did anything to his kid or that he's responsible.
No, it don't. Absolutely. I'm just saying, moving forward, now that the kid's gone, as a parent, I would do more. That's just what I'm saying. I just think, my opinion of it is, he's being lazy in it, and he's not getting out there searching because he got people telling him that the kid's alive, and he wants to believe that shit. Oh, he's in Tel Aviv. He's in this and that and this and that, right? And just like he was more worried about women than he was the kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That who the care? Like, listen, dude, this ain't the date hookup, right? Like, this is find your child time, right? There'll always be time for women, but a certain amount of time you can find your kid. And that just some of the things that was going on was like disgusting. And I think he's on the right path now. Now that he's alone and nobody cares, I think he's on the right path of pressuring the police.
I don't think that's gonna do anything because the fact that now it's to a point where it is, and we've gone through what we've gone through. He's not staying all day. He's not really like everything is about him. I'm not gonna have more time with him. I'm not gonna have it. I don't know. But I wanted to mention this comment. Everybody's saying KP didn't love Sebastian or sick individuals. Her actions show that she didn't act like a mother. The second he went missing, she didn't freaking do any type of, hey, whoever has my kid, please return my kid.
Yeah,
she didn't freaking go search for her kid. She literally left town with her husband to go with him to work, like in a different state.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm
Joe
sorry,
Dirt
you might show love differently than we all do here, but she clear as day doesn't seem as though she loved her child to me.
Somebody said YouTuber isn't a career, but I love watching you, Dolly. Well, you know, Dolly worked a real job for fucking 30 years. Okay. Own my home, own everything I got.
You were an entertainer while you did all that.
And was an entertainer while I did it too. Yeah.
That could be a career because you're technically an entertainer.
Well, yeah, you know, I toured in a band. I also worked a full-time job as an electrician for years. Okay. I owned a paint company. I didn't flip fucking burgers. Okay. There's a difference in the level of my career versus Seth's career. When my daughter was born, I owned a house. I bought it cash. Okay. Bought it cash. Owned the company at 25 years old. So yeah, now I'm old and I'm on YouTube, but all my assets, I had that before YouTube. YouTube didn't buy me this house I'm sitting in. YouTube didn't buy me this land that I'm on, right? YouTube didn't buy me that Corvette that I got that I need to sell. Anybody want to buy it? Yeah, so.
And someone in chat said Seth could have moved closer to his family for help with Sebastian. He literally did move.
He did move. Listen, I'll give Seth some credit on that. He did leave California. He did move to Tennessee. And, you know, Chris helped him get that job, right? Because Chris has friends. And
that's where people think that he's been getting help being covered up because he's got supposedly cop friends.
Yeah, he apparently he does.
I mean, that's fine and dandy, but I don't know of any cops that would go that low and cover for somebody like that. If there's a kid involved and there's no one that can see through that, nobody.
Yeah, and you got to remember, I also been to college. I wonder if Seth has any college in him. Does he look like he's been to college?
No.
I got my college diploma.
Why are we comparing you and Seth?
I'm just saying, because somebody said that, you know, YouTube, it ain't a career. But they don't realize all the education I got, all the good jobs I worked. Right. All the money I've made over them years. I was never in a situation where I was put my baby mama. You know, my baby mama never worked. She didn't work the whole time she was with me. I paid every bill, every piece of food in the house, bought the house, bought the car, pay all the bills now. So, yeah, like I've never been in that situation. I've always been a grinder. Go, 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 go. Don't stop. Right. My brain don't never stop going. I'm always doing something. I am always doing something. So you can't, nobody around can sit here and say I'm lazy. I get up and do shit. Right. I go, 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 go nonstop. So when I heard the story of him not, you know, Katie hadn't to work, and it would have never been like that in my household. It just wouldn't have. I did good enough that my baby's mom could stay home and take care of our kid.
That's the thing, though. When you and your baby's mama got into it when broke up, you fought for Tiffany.
Yeah. We went to war. we went to war over my child, right? Look, I just wanted my kid in a safe environment, right? I just wanted her in a safe environment, know
Plus,
she
you
was
wanted
okay.
your time with
Yeah.
your kid.
Absolutely. So I believe he loves his child. All I'm saying is he could be doing more and he should be getting these bad people away from him. That's it. That's my only message. Don't take it no different than that. He should tell these people that are putting out this fraud shit about his son constantly, like Dog and the fake intelligence agency, hey man, y'all back off. Right, back off. But he lets it go. He lets it go like he don't care that these people are frauds. Right, and he's surrounded himself with that. So it's hard to support stuff when you do stuff like that. Is he working now? Yes, Steph's working. He's a correctional guard. Okay.
Do we know that for sure? Because I don't think that's the case.
I mean, I think he's working.
I don't think he ever went back.
I
But I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't really
I think he's working. I mean, is that a really good job? Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the best job either in the world. I'm just throwing that out there. That like anybody can do that. Okay, I mean anybody can do that.
They don't think he is.
I think he's working. I think that week he had out there was probably his week off, and he spent that. You know, listen, I ain't knocking him for being out in front of that police station, not at all. I think that's the hardest thing he's done.
Sweet Joan said, I heard he worked as security for the bank.
Security for the bank?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a job. That's a job.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I ain't knocking the job itself. I'm just saying that he's never tried to build a career for himself, right?
Right. Pink Rose just said Seth needs to grow up. That's exactly what it is.
I just think he needs to look at things honestly and decide, hey, these people don't have my child's best interest in mind. I need to distance myself from them. But what good people want to help him when he's surrounded by terrible people? That's all I'm saying.
And then tells the good people to get
the F off.
Yeah.
Tells the good people to F off while he surrounds himself with frauds that just got out of prison. Like maybe he's used to being around those people because he's been a prison guard and everybody he talks to is a criminal every day. So maybe he felt more comfortable around criminals. And that's why he decided to align with nothing but criminals.
And see, there's people like this that say Seth is too gullible. I don't think so.
I know. I thought that in the beginning. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, guys. I truly did. I truly gave this man the benefit of the doubt that he was a sad father and they were taking advantage of him and he just didn't realize they were bad people. I honestly did. I gave him that. Right? And then the more you look at it, it's like, nah. He knew who he was getting in bed with. He knew exactly what he was doing. And that's what's so hard for me at this point to support Seth. Do I want Sebastian Rogers found? Absolutely. I pray to God, little baby Jesus right here, please let them find this child. Right? And all these other missing children. But it's hard to align when people are not doing the right things. But now, listen, I ain't knocking him. Like I said, I'm proud that he's doing the right thing. And if he would get rid of the rest of these bad people, I would
at least tell him to stop posting stuff.
I would even help him. I would even help him. I myself, I'd jump on a plane and go help him. But he has to get rid of the bad people that are around him. I can't align myself with bad people. I just can't do it. I'm trying to be a lot better good person. I cannot be around lying, cheating, fraud ass people. I just can't do it.
Non-profit is up yet.
I mean, I don't know. I think that whole whatever he was going to do with a non-profit, that's out the window now. So many people got a bad taste in their mouth over him. Like I just don't know how that's going to work for him. He's pissed everybody off at him. All the decent people that were covering Sebastian have completely left. Everybody. Anybody that was halfway decent.
That's because his people were suing people that were discussing the case. So how do you keep discussing it and trying to bring awareness to the child that's missing when he's got a posse that's like, don't say this or that, or don't do this, and we're gonna sue you.
Listen, and he in the beginning when he had the private investigator, the woman, they were good people.
Good,
yeah, they were good people. Right? They were doing PR work for him, and they were really searching for Sebastian. They were doing a good job at spreading awareness. And then he fired them, and he wasn't even paying them. Right? He was like, yeah, I had to fire them. You can't fire somebody you're not paying. Right?
And that was the rumor was that was over the poor lady that passed away and her being involved or getting
Caroline
involved.
says, Dolly, did you ever try to interview? I interviewed Seth. He's been up here on this channel. Me and Seth's had multiple good conversations. And then like I said, I tried to help him, and he aligned himself with all these bad people. And then once he did, I had to go in on him. Right? I'm real. If you doing some shady stuff, I'm going to say you're doing some shady stuff. And there was a whole lot of shady shit going on. And I knew that just when he aligned with the people he did. And I just knew. Listen, I've been around this for a minute. A lot of these people on YouTube, I know personally, right? You may not, but I do. I've been on cases with them. I've seen how they operate. I know who's real and who ain't real. I know who does it for clicks and views. I know who does it for money. I know who really looks. I know all these things. You know why? Because I've been out there on multiple cases with these people, from Summer Wells to Quentin Simon. And so when I shit talk a YouTube and y'all think, oh, Dolly's just being an asshole. No, I say that because I know, and you guys don't, right? You ain't been out there with them. You ain't never dealt with these people in person. You ain't never seen these people off camera. I have, right? You got to remember, I was the enemy to all these people, and somehow they let their guard down and they let me in, right? They let me in. And then I told it all, right? I don't know what they thought. They thought they could win me over, I guess, and I was going to be their ally, but that ain't quite how it played out, because you know me, I tell you, I'm not here to make friends. I don't care if anybody likes me on YouTube. All these other now viewers, of course, I want you guys to like me, okay? But far as other YouTubers, every one of them can line up and kiss my ass for all I care. I ain't your friend, okay? I may be your acquaintance. We may know each other on YouTube, but I ain't gonna get up here and bullshit for you or lie for you or any of that. That just ain't gonna happen. I got all the friends I need. You know what I'm saying? I got all the friends I need. So it ain't that I'm mean or an asshole. It's just I'm real. I tell the truth. And some people don't like that.
Truth hurts.
And truth hurts, and there is people out here that are good people, and there's people out here that are not good people, that are actors, okay? That are just actors. And they show up on these scenes, they take some selfies, they wave and they get online and act like they done something great, and really they ain't done shit. Right?
Jackie says one thing.
To me, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. You better earn your damn stripes. Look, I took jiu-jitsu for years. They never gave me a stripe. You had to earn every stripe you get. Okay? Every stripe you get, you earn it. You work for it. You fight for it. Nothing handed to you free in this world. Like, you can't. I just hate seeing people. And this is what gets me the worst, right? Now, I'd never claim to be a saint. Never in a day. I hate people. I just hate people that act like they're really good people. And then as soon as that camera turns off, they're the fucking devil. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. I have no respect for it. I never will. When this camera turns off, I am the same dude you see up here. Anybody that's ever met me in Tennessee, in Georgia, in California, anywhere, I am the exact same person when this camera turns off that I am when this camera's on. And if you ain't, then you're an actor, right? And this ain't fucking Hollywood, all right? I've been to Hollywood. I know this ain't Hollywood. I was just there. Beverly Hills. Okay. What I learned in that is I will never be able to afford to live there. Okay. I'll never be able to afford to live there. A small house, $3 million. Yeah. I'll stay in Virginia. Okay. Hollywood ain't for me. It smells like piss. Okay. LA smells just like piss. So that whole dream of wanting to be famous, I don't think I want it that bad. Okay. I don't think I want it that bad. Not that I'm going to wake up and smell urine every day. Okay. No, ain't happening. Don't give me a Hollywood star. Okay. Because all it's going to happen is homeless people are going to piss on it. Why even bother? Okay. Why even bother? They'll put mine out in front of Marshalls or something like TJ Maxx, right? They'll put mine in front of a secondhand store, the ABC store or something crazy. It won't be nowhere good, right? They won't put it outside the damn Hard Rock. It'll be somewhere totally shitty. Pissing Lambos. They do got nice Lambos there. Okay. They got Lambos you can rent. But far as like the area itself, you know, you would think it'd be nice, but it really ain't. Okay. It really ain't. So anyway, who reminds me of Chris and Katie before we get too sidetracked? Malaya Brooks. Okay. Right here. Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Malaya Brooks is no more different than Katie Proudfoot.
They supposedly passed lie detector tests.
They passed lie detectors tests too, right? And she could be Katie Proudfoot Jr., right? Katie Proudfoot gave more interviews than Malaya Brooks did. Now, when you run away from where your kid went missing and you run and lawyer up, they say Beverly Hills is super nice. Okay. If you got $3 million and up, you can be out there. You know what I'm saying? That is nice, right? There ain't no homeless people. It don't smell like piss. It got a good view. You know what I'm saying? All the celebrities live there. Yeah, it's really nice. But that's just a little part of LA. Okay, that's a little. You seen how fast I drove through it, right? It didn't take long. And the rest of it is a shithole. Okay. But when you get out of there, you get into the desert. And the people are good people. Listen, everybody I met out there was great people. I met a lot of great people out there. It's just that area is not for me, right? Like I'm way more East Coast than West Coast. Now I know how nice the East Coast is compared to the West Coast. Like East Coast is better. I hate to say it, but any of my friends out there on the West Coast, y'all need to move to the East Coast. It's way different. It's way different. Like it's like day and night different. Like it's the East. We got trees. We got shade. We got the ocean. It don't smell like piss. Well, Savannah does. Savannah smells like pee too. All right. I love my East Coast, Dolly. Yeah, I think the East Coast is the coast with the most, right? Well, I mean, we got some shitty parts to the East Coast too, but I like the East Coast a little bit better, to be honest. LA, California, nice place to visit. I just don't know about living there, right? Like I didn't get there and go, oh man, I'd love to live here, right? And if I had $3 million or $10 million, I wouldn't live in Beverly Hills. I wouldn't live nowhere near it, okay? It ain't that nice. Okay, it's not that nice. I live here. You know what I could buy here with $3 million? $3 million. I would live in a sprawling mansion like Missy Elliott. Okay. It's way different on the East Coast, what you can buy compared to what you can buy on the East Coast. When people were telling me how much some houses were, I was like, I can get that house right there for $400,000 in Virginia. Okay. $500,000. I'd have that same house. That's worth, its location is what it is. It's location. But on to the next case. Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Oh my God. Now this one is exactly like Emmanuel Haro. Both parents home. Kid just vanishes. We think the kid's been kidnapped. Okay. Does that sound like Emmanuel Haro to you? That sounds like it to me. Okay. Canada. Oh my God. Have y'all failed these children? My Canadian brothers and sisters out there, I just can't believe it. And then, you know, we got the police coming out saying that Malaya's passed a lie detector tests. Daniel's passed a lie detector tests. But here's the thing. How can that be? They've got up on the internet and told different stories. Every time Daniel opens his mouth, it's a different story. They said they seen Malaya give the baby to somebody in a car, and she was out there handing the baby off, and he was asleep, she was asleep, I was asleep. The story changes so much. How could they be telling the truth? Are they telling the truth to the police? Or are they telling the truth to the internet? Or are they telling the truth to the media? Because they told the police one story, they told the media one story, and they've told the internet 3 stories. Well, a different story, not 3 stories, probably more than that, probably 4 or 5 different stories. But how the hell can they be telling the truth if you can clearly see they're lying? That we've listened to them lie right up here. But yet the police say they're telling the truth. No signs of the baby. No signs of foul play in the house. The house has been searched. Sounds a lot like Summer Wells. Not Summer Wells, but Sebastian Rogers. A lot like Sebastian Rogers. Pretty damn similar. But it even similar to Emmanuel Haro. The only difference is there's allegedly some evidence that came out of the Haro house. And it's been stated when they went in the house, there was not one picture of Emmanuel Haro in the house. And not only that, but there may have been allegedly some blood and some carpet taken from that house. Okay. And we're going to get into that case in just a few minutes. All right. We're going to get into that case in just a few minutes. There's just a few more things I want to go over in this Jack and Lilly stuff. You know, really big misinformation campaign that took place in the very beginning of this. We had the stepfather, you know, talking about how much he loved these kids and how much he loved Malaya. But at the same time, he's talking to a woman online. Okay. And there's still some details on that one. I don't know if I can tell y'all yet. Just some information that was.
Why do you look over at me? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay. I just checking to see if I can tell some stuff yet. I'll wait on that. But, you know, apparently he was looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Looking for love in all the wrong places. So how worried was he with this kid, or how worried with, you know, how much did he love Malaya if he was trying to hook up as soon as she was out the house with randos? Okay. Just random women online. I mean, and you know, he said he would never stop searching for Jack and Lilly.
Well, I was confused why he said that, because they weren't going to come back to his house ever. It's like,
yeah. And this is the thing. He said he would never stop searching, but he hasn't done any searching since the searching stopped. He hasn't done any searching. He hasn't asked for people to help him come search. Nothing. Really, all he's been doing is out here spreading information to make it look like Malaya has done something to the kids, while Malaya hasn't said anything. Now, me, myself, I think they're both responsible for what's happened to these kids, and they can't tell on each other because both of them will go to prison. So, myself, like, I look at this like, I can't believe they've made it so confusing the police don't know what to do. That's what I think. It's like you muddy the water enough, you can't see the bottom. And I think that's what they did from the very beginning, is they started muddying the water. And just bullshit stories. Like, how are these people free? I don't understand. What happened to good old police work where you take one person and put them in one room, put another person in the other room, and then say, hey, well, he told on you. You're going to prison. And then scare them so they tell on the other person. Like, what happened to hitting somebody with a good old phone book upside the noggin? Okay, you're going to talk, bow! Right? Like, what? Listen, so many people talk so good about the RCMP. Dolly, they always get their man. The mounted police, they always get their man. They may always get their man, but they don't always get their woman. Okay, because I believe Malaya was distant from these kids. She didn't give a damn about these kids. And she may have done something to these kids, and Daniel and his family covered this up. And then once they were involved, she said, well, you can't tell. I'm out. Deuces. She didn't want to be with him, right? She's already out living her best life. Casey Anthony, right? Casey Anthony comes to mind, you know, and then her family's out. Well, she can't be sad all the time. You know, well, why ain't she out looking for a baby? Why ain't she doing media? Why did she lawyer up? All these things are huge, huge red flags. I mean, major, major red flags. We seen this in Emmanuel Haro. Remember, they got that sleazeball ass attorney, and then I knew it was over for them. I was like, okay, California did a great job on the Emmanuel Haro case. I had to say that. The police out there, Riverside and all those people, San Bernardino, they did a great job. Now, is the judge going to let them go because it's, you know, the catch and release thing out there in San Bernardino and Riverside County? I don't know. I have no faith in the justice system there, but the police are great. They're super nice, polite people, and they did their jobs, right? They got these people off the street. Convicting them is going to be a different story, because apparently the judges out there will let you go for damn near murder. It's insane to me, right? Like, because this man should have never been walking the streets in the Emmanuel Haro case. Never should have been walking the streets. You know, they should have arrested Malaya and Daniel on suspicion, right? And something, lying to authorities, anything, you know, anything to get them into the police station to put some pressure on them. What are we alerting about?
I just saw a comment that says the Foots and Socks have handlers and trolls that bash Seth all day long. IMO.
Well, I can tell you now, I don't work for Seth. I don't work for Chris. I don't work for Katie. None of those people. I say what I think, and it ain't about bashing anybody. To me, it's about bringing justice to this kid. The only thing I think, like I said, I don't hate Seth. I wish Seth would do better. Okay. I wish he would do better. I wish he would surround himself with good people or nobody. I'd rather see him out there by himself than be out there with these bad people and allowing people to take advantage of his son. That shit is horrible. Like the whole dog, that shit blows my mind. And not to stand up to it, not say nothing, when you know it's fraud, when you know they're lying and they ain't doing what they're saying. And is he doing this because it brings attention? I hope to God that's what it is. If not, he's just as fraudulent as them for allowing them people to do that. I can tell you this, if my kid was missing, you wouldn't be up here doing that shit. You wouldn't want to do it around me. You just wouldn't. I'll be done went to jail. You ain't going to get up here and plug your book on my kid's fucking name. You just ain't doing that. You just ain't doing that, right? I can promise you that. I will come track your ass down. You will not do that. I don't care what reality show you was on. I don't care. I don't give a damn who your kids are. I don't care. A&E gives me money. I'm coming. Right? You want to see some kicking in some doors. You ain't doing that shit to me. And at least say something about it. Right? But he goes along with it.
I think he signed a contract.
He goes along with it.
I don't think he can say anything once he signed that contract.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he signed with these weirdos or what he's doing with these weirdos or any of it. But I can't respect this man at all until he gets away from these people. I just can't, you know. And Chris and Katie, I think they're guilty. Well, at least Katie. I don't think Chris is guilty. I think Chris helped her cover it up. He's guilty of that. But whatever happened to Sebastian happened under Katie's watch with Katie there. And then that 3-hour phone call was Chris telling Katie what to do.
Or driving to her house.
I mean, that's possible, but I think more it's him telling her what to do.
I think that's an important time frame of where things might have occurred. It's definitely
the 3-hour phone call has something to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I think we can agree on that. What it was, that's debatable, but the 3-hour phone call definitely had something to do with that. And Tennessee completely dropped the ball, just like Nova Scotia's dropped the ball on Jack and Lilly. How come when social services get called, the damn kids vanish, right? Lilly walking around with 2 black eyes like she's damn Rebecca Haro, and she's 6 years old, right? Like, these kids shouldn't have black eyes. Jack shouldn't have black eyes. Lilly shouldn't have black eyes. Damn Rebecca Haro. Like, that means Daniel's no different than Jake Haro. You know, no different. No different. There should be people out protesting in front of their house right now in Canada. Canadians. You got to learn from these cases here in America. You see what happens when people start to raise hell in front of the house. The police start to do stuff, right? And I told y'all that the police hinted to me that they were going to do something. That's what I said, look, this shit's going to get worse. And he was like, I know. I'm going to talk to the people that's in charge tonight. That's what he told me.
But see, there's a pro and con to that, because what if that would have gotten done and that would have hindered the investigation and they didn't have enough to keep them there?
Like, and you know what? Before I said that to the police officer there in Riverside, I showed him that my microphone was off. I said, look, boop, and cut it off right in front of him. I said, look, I'm going to tell you, it's going to get worse than this. I said, I've been on cases like this, and the crowd is going to get bigger. It's going to get unruly. It's going to be hard to control. And he said, I know. He said, the people that are in charge of the detectives, I'm going to talk to them tonight. I know this is not going to stop until they're in custody. And that's what he said. And then I was like, all right. And he was like, all right, have a great night, man. And then I cut the volume back on the phone. You know, because the police ain't going to say shit with you videotaping them.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to say nothing with you videotaping them. So I pointed the camera away from him, walked up to him, cut the mic off right in front of him. So he knew that, hey, I'm not recording you. I just want to tell you this. But he, like you said, he knew it was going to get worse. He knew. And then what? A day later, they arrested him.
But they didn't do anything about it getting worse. What is up with the people that were at the house when they weren't even
California is a wild place. Okay. They wild out there. They are a little untamed. I had to say that. It ain't that they're untamed. They don't give a shit. Okay. They don't give a shit what the police say. Usually people are scared to go to jail. They ain't. Them people out
they're not going to jail. They're getting catch and release.
They ain't scared to go to jail. They just ain't. They just like, F you. We do whatever the hell we want to do. Like it. They have that mentality out there. They're not worried about it. Like they ain't scared of jail. They'll go where they want to go. They'll walk where they want to walk. They'll walk up to the door and knock. They'll take their kids with them to the door. Did you see that? The lady go up there with her kids and everything.
She had your phone. I seen it.
No, there was a different lady that walked up to the front door and knocked on the door with her kids with her. She had two kids.
The lady that had taken the live stream and walked up to.
She had kids with her too. Yeah, I know. They don't care about going to jail. They're like, man, F that jail. We ain't worried about that. Only you East Coast people worried about going to jail, right? They didn't care.
I mean, if they don't actually take them and make them stay in jail, why would they care? If it's a catch and release type of state, why would they care?
I don't know. They just wasn't scared. They wasn't scared of the police. That's for sure. Like they just wasn't. And yeah, the chaos. I thought people. Let's be honest. In the Emmanuel Haro case, I thought people would, when they were arrested, leave the house. I thought people would go home. You know,
I understand the memorial, and you come up there, put a little thing up there, say your prayer, and then you go home. But there was people like having a barbecue or something, like they were just gathering there at the house.
Yeah, I mean, after they're arrested. Okay, so when they went to jail, I was like, okay, time for me to take off. They ain't here. What am I going to scream at an empty house, right? Or the person at the house, I don't even know who that was. There's some man. I don't know if he's a landlord, if he was kin to him, or
they
what.
said that, yeah, that was Jake's stepdad. He owns the house.
Okay, his stepdad.
I don't know if it's true. That's what I read.
But to stand out there and continue to look at a house that they're not going to get. I mean, I was out there to see them get arrested and go to jail, not to stand in front of a house that seems weird to me. After the fact, once they went to jail, I thought it would calm down. I honestly, truly did. I was like, okay, this is over. They're in jail. Like Leilani, when she went to jail, it was over. right? It was okay. It's done. No need for chaos. Everybody got what they want. They're in jail because I thought that's what people wanted. But this, like, the whole where's the baby after they're in jail, like, we got to let the police figure that part out at this point. You know what I'm saying? I get the memorial, go up to the memorial and drops. It grew so big. It was beautiful.
I know, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is about that, somebody took the freaking baby stroller from their house and dragged it to the memorial.
Like I said, they don't care about shit about the
that's
police.
what-
They don't care about the police. They just don't.
Right, but if they care so much about this baby, they should care because you're ruining like that is an act of crime.
There's a little bit of difference in culture too out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that just seems like ignorance.
People are coming out there, whole families. Like I said, everybody was great, good people. Let me tell you this: there was hundreds of people out there, and there was only a few knuckleheads out of the hundreds of people. So you can't let a few knuckleheads ruin it for hundreds of good people, right? There was people doing stupid stuff, yes, but there was hundreds of really good people with their families, loving, caring people that wasn't doing anything stupid.
Was climbing on top of the house. Like, there was, I don't
Some of these people were like doing it for TikTok and shit too.
Wow.
You know, these people were TikTokers and different, like, it wasn't just, like I said, there was some bad apples, but there were so many good apples out there that, in families and loving, caring people that were out there for the right reasons, that a few bad people can make everybody look bad, and everybody wasn't bad. Like, I thought the majority of it were really, really good people. And the people that were doing stupid stuff, they really wasn't bad people. They were just doing stupid shit. They're not thinking. Sometimes that mob mentality kind of takes over, and you want to show out, you know what I'm saying? Or show off and get people's attention or something. I don't know. I don't know why people did some of the things they did. And some people were drinking. Like the one guy, he was pretty drunk. And then of course, you know, the neighbor situation out there. But I honestly was like, okay, as soon as they're in jail, this is all going to die down. And apparently it didn't. There's still people standing in front of the house, like, and out there raising hell. I'm like, that to me, that's a little obsessive at that point. You know what I'm saying? But do you have the right to do that? Absolutely. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but would I do that? Once it's done, it's done. I'm just there. Once you're arrested, and I believe in let the justice system take place there. So to me, because it works in phases. One is arrest them, phase one, get the arrest, right? Phase two, get the evidence to prosecute them. Phase three, prosecute them, right? Because that's the most important thing, that these people never hurt another child again, you know. So, and they got court coming up September 4th, so 4 days.
That's because their lawyer, they were sharing a lawyer, and it was not.
Well, the mother has a new lawyer now. I've seen that. So she has a new lawyer. Jake has a lawyer. So they both got lawyers now. So they'll put their plea in. Their arraignment is the 4th. So they'll plead guilty or not guilty. And the crazy thing is this is, you know, Jake is taken up for Rebecca. You know, basically in that jailhouse interview he gave, he said that she wouldn't hurt her kids and she loves her kids. But the thing about this is, she had to have known. Let's just say he did it and she would have had to have known. Had to have. Right? If you didn't know he did it, why would you go to the Big Five Sporting Good and say my kid was kidnapped? Why would you lie if you don't know what happened to your kid? She had to know what happened to the kid. Right? And it's bad because we know she's an abused woman. Right? But still, that don't give her the excuse to try to cover the crime up. You know, and my whole thing is he may take the fall and try to let her go.
I'll be shocked
He may. I mean, I think that he's out there blaming her and they're just not saying it because that's why he's at these locations because he clearly didn't confess. And the
I
proof,
disagree still.
the proof is right there. He said in his jail interview that he's in a cell by himself. He hasn't had any communication with any other inmates. He said that in his interview. So he couldn't have confessed to an inmate or a fake police officer. Brian Enton, I hate to say it, I know people love Brian Enton. He got it wrong. He got it completely wrong. That didn't happen. Is he cooperating with the police? I think he's acting like he's cooperating with the police, and I think he's taking them on a wild goose chase. He's not going to give up the location of that baby. He's not. They haven't found it yet. The police are saying they think they know the area that the baby's in. Well, if you think you know, where's the baby? What's my favorite line, guys? Where's the baby? That baby's not going to be found. They're preparing to charge these people without a body.
Right. That's because I think the whole trash was, I mean, Leilani 2.0.
Leilani 2.0.
Is what I call
and if
this
you don't
case.
know exactly when that baby went in the trash, you don't know exactly where to look.
Even if you did, it would be hard to discover remains in a.
Well, let's just say this. In the Leilani case, here's the thing. They knew what dumpster the baby went into, right?
Because they stopped all trash
pickup. Yep, they stopped all trash pickup, so no more would be dumped on top of it. Not only that, they knew what dumpster she threw the baby in. They knew where that dumpster was dumped in the landfill. The situation in this, if Emmanuel went into a landfill, we don't know what dumpster he went into. We don't know what day he got dumped. So therefore, we don't know what part of the landfill he's in. Right. If you go out there, you can't search or when. That's right. We don't know when, where, or you know, they do keep track of these dumpsters and where they dump them. But if you don't know what dumpster and you don't know when, now we're talking the whole landfill has to be, and there's no way. You know, I know somebody that works at a landfill, and they told me before they found Quentin Simon, they said, Jimmy, you end up in a landfill, most likely they're never going to find you because, of course, you get ran over, you get crushed, and they bury you and they pack you in. The lucky thing in the Quentin Simon thing was they knew what dumpster it was and they knew the area that the dumpster had been dumped. And that's what led them to the remains of Quentin Simon. And they didn't even find all of them. They found partial bones, small bones. You could have fit the little bit of bones of Quentin Simon in a tiny little box like this big. It was just a little piece of his skull. There was a little bit of his hip bone. It was little. It was like, I was in the trial. I was looking at the pictures of his bones, and it was hardly anything that they found of him. He was pretty much gone. You know, thank God miracles happened, and Quentin Simon was actually found. It was enough of them to do because they sent him to Quantico, and they tested and came back that it was Quentin Simon. And of course, you know, Leilani, 40 years plus 10 with the possibility of parole. And she deserves every minute of that. And she never cried for Quentin Simon. The only reason she cried was when they gave her the prison sentence that she was going to prison. And but she's in there eating all the cookies she can. That woman gained 30, 40 pounds. Why? I'm just saying she did. When she was out, she looked, I mean, she was a drug addict. Right. She was a drug addict. So she was thin. Time she hit court, she was like,
she don't have the drugs no more.
Maybe the drugs she's eating. And she looked like she gained at least, I ain't gonna lie, 40 pounds.
If you stop doing drugs, you'll gain weight. Just like if you stop smoking, you gain weight. If you are stressed and you eat, I mean, I don't think there's anything to that.
Yeah, truth matters, they do. But the thing about this, if you don't know what dumpster and you don't know what day, you don't know where in the grid that the baby was dumped. It could be anywhere in the landfill. And I just got a feeling that they're not going to find the body of Emmanuel Haro. And I think everything that Jake is doing, he's just leading them on. And that's it. So he can get some time out that cell and act like he's trying to help. So when he goes to court, he can say, well, I've cooperated with the police. I've done this. Because if you think about it, he has a pretty decent defense, right? He says he was at the football game. She left with the baby And she was the last one with the baby. That's what, I mean, if I was this defense attorney, that's what I would argue. Say, hey, this lady left with the kid and he don't know what happened to the kid. Yes, he abused a child in his past, but just because you abuse a child in the past don't mean you killed this one. Now, me, I don't believe that shit, but I'm just saying, what defense does he have? What defense does he have? That's the only defense that he has. I mean, you got to go with, if you're a lawyer, you can only work with what you got, right? If you brought me this, I would be like, well, look, we're going to say she did it. She left with your child. She was the last one with the child. She reported the child missing. You have no clue what happened to the child, and you've been cooperating with the police, leading them to places you believe she may have dropped the baby off at. That's the only defense you got. And her defense, of course, is going to be, I'm a battered woman. She got Stockholm syndrome. She'll be set up for a mental evaluation. Mm-hmm. She'll end up failing that because when she gets there, she'll act cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? The lawyer tell her that, hey, look, you better start talking to yourself and eating paper in a cell. You know what I'm saying? So she's going to act crazy. She's going to act like she was abused and this man is responsible. And here's the thing. She don't have a criminal record.
Yeah. She
don't have a criminal record. He has abuse. So they both have a defense, which is like, and they got nobody. It's a hard one for the jury.
What really bothers me about the case of Emmanuel Haro is that not one relative, family, friend, when is the last time this child was physically seen?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
anybody.
It would have to be somewhere near August 1st, somewhere early, maybe even sooner than that. Like, listen, one jury member feels sorry for this lady. One. And we got a different game. Mm-hmm. That's it. One person has to think, well, yeah, this lady's been beat on. She was probably scared for her life, especially if she says, he beat on me. I was scared for my life. He told me he would kill me. And if I didn't do this, boom, this woman might walk. You know, I hate to say that, but think about it. It depends what she says when she gets into court. Now, so far, she's been saying the kid's been kidnapped. She's going with that. And like, you would think, oh, okay, well, how scared are you? This man's in jail. He can't hurt you, right?
Grandma never met him, right?
Yeah, the grandma never. They were saying that nobody's seen the kid because the kid didn't have its shots. That's because the kid was already dead and gone.
I mean,
they just waited so long to report it. I bet you somebody started asking about the kid, and then they were like, oh, shit, we need to do something or we're going to be found out, right? And then that's when they came up with this plan. They concocted this plan to come up with the story that this baby had been kidnapped. So I don't know. As this trial unfolds, this is definitely a trial that we're going to cover here on Dolly Vision. All right. And like I said, when it comes time for them to be found innocent or guilty, I'm flying my ass back to California. And for the sentencing of these people, I will be there live in the court with you guys. Okay. Well, I won't be with you unless you're there in California, but I will be bringing you guys this case live because you know me, when I cover a case, I cover it from the beginning to the very end of it. And then so on, like, just like Leilani, I was there for the beginning of it, day one, and all the way till she was convicted. I sat in the courtroom, you know, same thing with Harmony Montgomery. Well, I wasn't there in the beginning of Harmony Montgomery. I came in the middle, but I was in the middle all the way to the end. Sebastian Rogers here from the beginning. I was 6 months late into the Summer Wells case, right? But once we start, we don't. Cody Bigsby, I was there in the beginning all the way to the end of. So we don't give up. We stay on it until, and listen, it's never really over until the children are found. But when I say from the beginning to the end, I mean from them being arrested. I mean from the searches to them being arrested to them being convicted. That's when I say the end is. But like I said, there's really no end until there's answers for these babies or their bodies are found. So it never really ends, but I'm saying our coverage of that aspect of it ends there. And then it's just more about where's the baby at, the search efforts and things like that. Some of them do end. Leilani Simon in. They found the baby. She went to prison, right? So that story to us is pretty much over. You know, Sebastian Rogers, not over. Jack and Lily, not even close to being over. And some places get it so right? Their police forces get it so right, and they do such a good job. And then some places get it so wrong. So wrong. So we're going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to take some of your guys' calls, see what you think about these 3 cases that we discussed tonight. And give me a second. PJ's going to take the first couple calls. I got to grab something.
Oh, okay.
So you can take the first couple calls real quick. All right, hold on.
My arm is in the shot again.
Huh?
My arm.
Okay, well, we're gonna
See?
yeah. Give me a second. Let me pull the number up. And you know how to answer the phone and everything.
Yes, I do.
Here we go. So y'all get producer tonight. Hold on. We're not ready yet. Hold on, callers. Hold on. We're not ready yet. I'm gonna shut the phone line for a second. PJ, right there.
Wait, what are we gonna do?
All right. So the phone line's open. Numbers on the screen. Here's the camera right here. I'm cutting it off for a second so we can switch spots. Hold on, guys. And then cut everything back on and answer the phone.
All right. I think I got this. Let's see. I don't know if I want to scare you guys and turn the camera on, though. I gotta turn the phone lines back on. All right. The phone lines are back on.
You got her.
I'm going to. I'm working on it. This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, PJ, this is Troy in Indiana.
Hey, Troy. What's up?
Hey, I don't think that case in California will ever go to trial because they're going to make a plea in some way to try to keep it quiet. And if it does go to trial, we will never see it because California is the most secretive state in the union.
Are you from California?
No, I'm not. I'm from Indiana, which is also not very good, but it's not as bad as California. And that I don't think this will ever go to trial. Look what they done with Jake previously.
Right. And they're trying to
Undercharged.
say, right. And they're trying to say that was just the one judge that was corrupt or whatever happened there. But I mean, I think that would actually make them want to do better this time, but it's always a possibility.
Well, we would like to think they would do better, but we all know what politicians do. They're just going to cover up, and they're going to keep covering it up, just like her defense lawyer. You know, she's got, he was the deputy district attorney that undercharged Jake.
Wait, that's her defense attorney? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I'm
Are you
here.
still there?
I live
okay.
Click on the chat.
country. I'm sorry, I get a bad signal.
Okay. Yeah. I just all of a sudden lost you.
Yeah, I said her defense attorney now was the deputy district that undercharged Jake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just what a small world. I mean, how does that
Yeah.
happen?
Well, yeah, it's California. Yeah.
I can see what you're saying. I don't know. I think that we'll hear about it. I think it was too big of a case for them to be able to sweep it under the rug. So we'll have to agree to disagree today.
As long as people like us keep, that's why they get on TV and say they hate us people on the internet because we put pressure on them.
Yeah,
we are the ones that go out there and seek the truth, and they don't like it.
Yeah,
and I love it. So.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. I'll talk to you again soon. Okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Peace.
I always feel like I cut everybody off. It's so. How do you do this? So like.
You didn't cut the phone off.
I know. I saw. Doesn't help to helicopter me right now. Did you hear what he said? He doesn't think the case is ever going to go to trial.
They could take a plea.
What is up? This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Down. I'm sorry.
Rita.
Hey, it's Rita from Dexter. What you doing?
Not much. Just.
I'm glad you're on tonight. We don't get to see you no more.
I know.
We're used to you being there, right there with me.
I know.
We got spoiled there for a while, but you got to work. I know.
Yeah.
You know,
so what do you think?
I am about this baby. I've been thinking this, and no one's asked the question, and it might be a stupid question, but okay, the flyers where it said missing kid.
Yeah.
Did you notice they had those like right away? Who made them? Were they already made? Like they only had a few flyers standing out there right after. That's what I've been like. Where do these flyers come from? Like
I
even
didn't even catch that. You're right though.
Yeah, I was like, they had flyers. It feels like they were already made. Something tells me they had those made and ready to go. I mean, that might be a stupid question to some people, but
no, actually, I mean, I think that's very valid to point out that they had flyers, just like their story seemed like it was rehearsed. It does seem they had flyers rather quickly.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh. But I mean, they're locked up. The jig is up. It's time for someone to talk. I mean, I don't understand, why that they're not talking. I mean, he might have been out there looking with him, but I don't know if I think he has led them on a wild goose chase or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just don't make sense to me.
It's hard.
And then they're still.
Yeah.
And they're still sitting in there like, I can't get over that. They're still sitting in there. And I thought if she wants any defense at all about being a battered woman, she should have done spoke.
Right. She's saying that he's a good dad and that he wouldn't hurt the kids.
Yeah. She's still standing by her man.
Yeah,
and that her kid was kidnapped.
The thing about that is it don't really matter what you say until you're in court and you're in front of the jury.
That's true.
Yep. I was like, the flyers I've thought about from the beginning.
What do you think
stroller,
about that?
I just hear about the stroller. I just thought about tonight. Why didn't the cop?
Sorry, I was trying to ask him what he thought about the flyer being printed the day of. Like, did they pre-print those, or who made those on the fly?
That was the next day.
The next day.
The interview. They didn't give an interview the day it happened.
Okay, so it was a day. They made a flyer in a day.
Okay, because I was like, missing kid, and where did these come from? Because even Sebastian, they were making them,
yeah.
Everybody, they were donating them, and they were coming out of the woodwork. That's not really how you word a flyer. Now,
right.
the stroller, but the stroller, I don't know why they didn't take that stroller into evidence. I know there's a lot of rumors about the stroller, but rumors and facts. But leaving the stroller there for people to get a hold of and take. And people going in that house, that's all crazy to me.
It is. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
And then they disconnected their phones and got a burner phone.
Yeah.
Well, those cops aren't stupid,
Yeah,
you know, so.
I would hope not. I mean, they had to have known they got burner phones, but they claimed they were getting death threats. That's what all the people do. Claim they're
5
getting
to
death
0
threats.
says it could have been a different stroller. You're right. A lot of people
It
have
looked identical.
A lot of people have multiple strollers. when
They
have
lined
kids.
up the two pictures of the two images of the stroller, the one that was in their yard, and it's the same stroller. It's the same stroller. Like the way that it's like sitting with the thing up, and it's the same stroller.
All right, Rita, you be good.
All right. Thank you guys for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Love you guys.
It's the same stroller. It's not a different
Well,
stroller.
I mean, if that stroller held any evidence, they would have.
Would they have though?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yes.
hello, this is PJ. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, PJ, this is Addie from Missouri.
Hey, Abby. What do you got to add?
Hey, love you guys. Love your show. And I just wanted to let you know I've been listening to a little bit. And Vanessa, her mom, talked today.
I saw that.
And,
I actually saw that
did
right
you see
before
that?
we went live, but I didn't get to listen to any of it. I guess Vanessa's mom has been talking. I don't know.
Yeah, and she was saying that they kind of pressured, Vanessa into having to do that deal. But Vanessa's mom was telling how it was pretty much just a rigged thing and that Jake was the devil and that he had done all this. And Vanessa had actually taken the baby to the hospital once prior to that time.
Oh.
I mean, that's
yeah, and
me too. I mean,
well, and then he walks away with it, and Vanessa still got her older child. She had a child prior to with Jake, and still has custody and a new one, and has never caused any harm to her kids.
Right. So it's more likely he did it.
Yeah, and then the other thing about Jake, I think he's sweet talking on that interview because he knows if he pisses off Rebecca, that she may be the only one that actually knows what happened.
Right. I mean, I can see where that would be true. It's just
Tonight's stream is brought to you by the letter PJ. Okay, PJ. In the chat.
Yeah,
chat.
It's live on the East Coast.
Oh, God.
On the streets of the East Coast. Yeah.
On the streets.
But yeah, appreciate the job that you guys do. And I really hope, I tell you, it's just really how these people are all getting by with this. I don't understand.
I really don't either. I don't. It's just like maddening because, nobody should hurt their children.
Absolutely.
No, not when you can, somebody take them, drop them off at a hospital, police department, anything. It's just crazy. I don't know. And then the more that they let get by with it, it just, I don't know. Got to rely on prison justice. What's Dolly say? Put them under the jail? Yeah.
Is that even a thing, though? I feel like prison justice is like just a thing in the movies.
Lock them up, homie.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, I appreciate you
thanks for
taking my
calling.
call. And I stay up super late. Sometimes I'm like, where the hell's their show? Why hasn't it come on yet? One of these days I'm going to call in.
He's unpredictable.
All right. All right. Y'all take care.
Good night.
Check the
Bye.
phone line for
All right.
Okay. Somebody asked, have we selected where we're going on vacation yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are heading south. So we need your guys' help, right? We're looking for some cool events, some cool stuff to do between here in Florida. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Okay. So if there's something you think we should go do or something we got to see, we want you to.
How's the phone ringing?
I don't know.
I must have not turned it off. Yeah, I didn't turn it off.
Hit us up and tell us locations that you think we like ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Like penitentiaries on the way that do ghost tours or anything like that between here and Orlando. right? So hit us up on our Facebook and be like, Dolly, well, you got to see this in North Carolina. You got to see this in South Carolina.
It's not Orlando. It's Melbourne. I said I wanted to go to Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay. So we are heading to Florida. So anything
maybe
from
Fort Lauderdale,
Virginia to Florida that we got to do. Like we like ghost adventures, ghost hunting, just anything that we need to see in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and right in Florida. So if you're local there and you're like, Dolly, you got to see this, you got to eat here, that type of stuff, we want you to shoot us a message.
And the forecast still says it's going to rain every day. It's whatever.
We want you to shoot us a message, and maybe we will check out some.
And we are going to Myrtle Beach.
We're going to Myrtle Beach. We're going to Myrtle Beach. So things to do in Myrtle Beach.
And I'm going to North Carolina to get crystals.
Crystals. We're going to go mine some stones. PJ wants to go dig for some crystals. So we're going to go do that. That's near Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going near
It's Tennessee. Right near Johnson City.
We're going right near where Summer Wells went missing, to mine crystals. So that's what I said. We may pop in on the return to search a little bit for Sebastian, maybe do a little digging around in Summer Wells' case. But that's on the way back. But we need some things that we should check out.
Someone said Hatteras. We've been to Hatteras like a billion times.
Yeah. So that's our neighborhood, Hatteras. So, but anything in between that, shoot us an email or send us a message. We're going to leave probably tomorrow night. So hit us up in between.
Give them our coordinates.
I am. Okay.
Can I switch seats with you now?
No, you can go ahead and answer it. Now cut the
Lord.
phones back on and we'll take your calls. I just wanted to get that out.
Okay, the phone is back on. I don't know how to say hello to the ringing phone. It's weird. It's not my show. Hello, who's this and where are you calling from? This is PJ.
Hey, PJ. Got to turn my TV down. Sorry.
That's all right.
I watch you in the mornings.
Awesome, thank you. Who is this?
Only when Dolly keeps us up all night, and I end up in your chat in the morning.
Nice.
I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to cook my husband breakfast. So it's really early.
Fun.
I live in Kentucky.
Okay.
I live a half a mile from Tennessee line. I live about an hour from Nashville. My husband works in Nashville. He works next to Kid Rock's house, actually. They're building a golf course, a big, gigantic golf course.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to tell y'all. No, but my husband has seen him a couple of times, and my husband's boss says that if you pull him over, that he is very down to earth and that he will talk to anybody.
Nice.
And my husband plays music too.
That's
so cool. I'd like for my husband. He said that he's almost hit him one time. My husband drives those, I don't know, gator things or whatever. It's like 2 miles the job or whatever it is. Big, But I guess he's almost hit him one day on the gate.
Oh wow!
My husband was driving a gator. Yeah, he was driving one of those. What is the new ones? Elon Musk vehicles.
Tesla
truck. Yeah,
he
drives. He's got a white one, and another one that's the other color. The steel color. But they both got flags in them, American flags in both of them. He said.
Nice.
But yeah. But I was going to tell y'all too. You talking about wanting to go places to visit?
Yes.
And y'all are into scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been seeing all the documentaries on Bell Witch?
No.
On the Bell Witch. It's
No.
in Tennessee. It's also in Tennessee. Yep, Adams, Tennessee.
I don't know if that's on our way, but I did
know. Adams
read about that actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's really, people are really getting into it now. I guess it's really becoming a big tourist, attraction more so because there's been more documentaries on it. But yeah, I was thinking about that, but they got that over there. But yeah, of course I know Nashville and all that stuff in there. But yeah, I was just thinking about the horror part of it.
Cool, yeah.
The scary part.
I'd have to see if it was on our way because we're going down. But yeah, definitely I'll look into that. I did
Yeah.
see that come up
Yeah.
when I typed in. I was looking for asylums because I swear there was somebody that sent me a message that said in South
There's
Carolina
asylum.
there's an asylum you could actually tour. There's asylums everywhere, but there's not ones you could actually
Yeah.
go into.
There's one in Nashville too that's closed down, I think.
And that's what I'm saying. They're all the ones that are around here
Yeah.
closed, and you're not supposed to go on to their property. And
Well, they have haunted houses in the one in Nashville.
oh,
And the
wow.
prison they do the one prison that's closed down, they have a haunted house in it every year.
Awesome. And like Halloween time though, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Okay.
if y'all wanted to come back, but yeah. Oh, and I wanted to tell Dolly something. He said something earlier about Seth, and I called him about a year and a half ago, and this is before he ever got with Bullhorn Betty and all of them. And I told him, I said, what Seth wants out of all this, I know he wants his kid back. Don't get me wrong, but all he wanted was a woman out of all that deal, and all of that deal. See, where's that BHB at now? She ain't nowhere around.
You called it.
She's nowhere around Seth. She's
I
nowhere around
did
Seth.
not
No
see
more.
her at the.
I mean, it wasn't long after I told Dolly that they were in the motel room, and she was in the background. She never showed her face, but she was in the background.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
But anyway, yeah, yeah, I feel sorry for Seth, but yeah, I feel sorry for Seth. He could have done more.
Yeah.
But I say, I wanted to say this too. Y'all are talking about, everybody keeps talking about a body not being found, as far as everybody in the chat, as far as Katie goes and all that. And I know they're saying it too, and other people said it too, but this is true. Sumner County is got some corruption in it, and it's got the good old boy club, as you call it. And I don't know. I don't know for facts, but I just know that they did do a documentary on Channel 4 about how all these people were getting pulled over in Sumner County for DUIs, and they weren't drunk. And now there's all kinds of lawsuits against Sumner County and their police department because they're pulling people over and taking them to jail and putting them in jail, and they're not drunk.
Do that?
I don't know, but there was a big documentary on Channel 4 about it. Yes.
I would be kicking and screaming if you tried to take me to jail and I wasn't doing nothing.
I've got a good friend. She's from Czechoslovakia, but she's been here a long time. But we've been good friends for a long time. And one of her friends came through Gallatin and got into all kinds of trouble in Gallatin.
Wow.
He got out of it, but he wasn't even doing nothing. He just went through the town. And I worked in Gallatin for 15 years. I know. I used to have a police officer used to come in there every day. He was the lieutenant. He would drink and drive every day on the way home.
Dang.
Every day. Yep.
Right.
I mean, he come over to my store and got a cup of ice. He went to the next store and got liquor. He's not a cop there no more. I know. I used to work for a store manager, and he got in a cop. He smoked weed with the cop in the cop car.
Dang.
Several times.
All right. Well.
Yep. I've heard stuff, and
we'll talk to you next time.
In Sumner County. Yep. Good talking to y'all.
Have a good night.
Y'all too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Dolly Vision's brought to you by Crooked Cops tonight. Okay. Crooked Cops.
Crooked Cops. I think they have those everywhere, though. That's the thing, though. Like, do they all? I don't know. This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is George down here in Houston.
Hi, George.
What up, George?
What up?
How you doing? I just wanted to say hi to PJ.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
That's good.
Letter D.
I don't really have anything to say about these cases because we don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. There ain't nothing to know about these cases. So the only thing I could do is just call up and say hi.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling.
But I'm glad to say hi to PJ instead of Dolly for a change.
She runs the show.
No, I don't. I'm actually quite uncomfortable.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
See, I told you.
Everybody loves you. Everybody loves Dolly. Everybody loves PJ.
You really got nothing to say about none of these cases?
What's there to say? Ain't nobody know anything about them. I mean, the parents are all guilty, but nobody's arresting anybody.
Right.
One thing in common, they're all guilty.
Yeah,
they're all guilty. Nobody's arresting anybody. So what is there to say? I mean, it's like I'm watching a rerun of a Flintstone movie, cartoon.
Grab that super chat up there so I can see what's
So anyway,
well, thanks
God bless
for calling.
you too. I love you too.
Good night.
I watch you all the time. I listen all the time.
Thanks for watching.
And I'm just waiting for something new to come out. And ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
All right, you be good.
Bye.
Buenos dias, come back and see us.
Good Lord. Okay. So Carrie says Charleston, South Carolina is a great day trip, great food attractions, very old. Charleston jail from the 1800s, very haunted. They have tours.
That was what Tiffany said, right?
Yeah, my daughter said the same thing. And thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express. Woo! You ain't blessed unless you on the Dolly Express, okay? And this stream is brought to you by the Dolly Train, okay?
I'm mad you have me up here. I literally was like over here in a corner with my hair all messy bunned and just not makeup or nothing. And here I am.
All right.
And look,
Dolly has his HR.
This is not HR.
She's my producer. We go with producer.
We've been producer and all that since day one. We ain't gonna copy nobody else.
Yeah, we don't have human resources here. We got nobody you can complain to.
This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Neil. I'm sorry. Let me turn this volume down. I live in Kingsland, Texas.
Awesome. What's going on in Texas tonight?
I can't believe I'm talking to PJ. That's pretty cool. And Dolly's sitting right next to you.
Yeah, he's
That's so awesome. I think my thing was a little bit like delayed. So as I was watching you, I was surprised I heard your voice. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's delayed for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, my the reason I wanted to call tonight when Dolly was talking about the landfills and trying to find things, it would be so simple today with modern technology to, like when Amazon delivers and UPS delivers, they take a photograph and they put that on your porch or, get a signature. It would be so simple and not really an added workload if they could just every trash truck everywhere, because I drive trucks for a living, and so I know everything is logged where you stop and everything and the time stamp. But if they could just GPS and hit a button every day, it would be time stamped and they would know the route they ran. And so to me, that would help them pinpoint things in the landfill. So
I think we do have something like that because that's how they were able to get the direction or location of where Quentin would have been.
But they don't know that in the Emmanuel case.
Right, because they don't know that he even was.
Right. I understand. But I just think with today's technology, that could be resolved so simply. And I find it hard to believe they haven't started doing that. But anyway, that's what I was wanting to call.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling.
All right. It was really nice talking to y'all.
You too.
I watch you every day.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you.
Night. I always feel so awkward ending a phone call and saying hello. What the heck? All right, it's back on. Let's see. I can't read that on my screen, so I'm going to read it on the phone. For future reference, check out Myrtle's Plantation in Louisiana. They have tours, or you can sleep overnight. It's haunted. What? Haunted? This is PJ. Who is this and where are you calling from? Hello?
So PJ,
Hey,
Code
what's up?
20 News from California.
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It's just delayed and
There
I can
you
hear
go.
an echo.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on up there. So I had some questions for Dolly, because I know he came out here to cover that the Emmanuel Haro case and stuff. But one question I had a couple days ago, he was live and he was talking. He on his screen he had a detective from LA County, a retired detective from LAPD, Moses Castillo.
Okay.
You remember that, Dolly?
Don't remember what.
The detective that you had on the phone? Was he on the phone? No.
You know, he was showing his screenshot of his interview that he had with the news, and it was like 2 or 3 days ago, and you were kind of ridiculing him to a point of saying, oh, this old detective's 30 years old, he's 30-year retired detective.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So firsthand, knowing him personally, he works a lot of missing children cases, a lot. And I honestly, I agree with a lot of what he has to say. And even though California, everybody says, well, these people aren't going to get away, and no body, no case, and yada yada yada. Unfortunately, if they cannot come up with a gravesite, or they cannot come up with a strategic style of the murder that was committed as they're thinking, I hate to say it, if they don't have a body, it's going to be hard to prove them guilty.
Yeah, but I agree that it's hard, but there's been a lot of convictions without bodies here recent.
100%. Yes, I agree 100% on that. However, this case has taken a lot of twists every single day. If you look back and you look at it from day one till where we're at today, and there's accusations out there that Jade Haro, aka Slumbag, confessed to another inmate, this and that. That confession had to come from somewhere. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, that
there was
just
never no
made up.
confession though. That's just bad information.
Correct. I agree with that. However, if you go back and you listen to the DA, Chad Bianco's district attorney that was talking a couple days ago, and you listen to everything that he retracts, it's almost to the point now where these guys don't even have their heads on straight. Look at how he opens it up when he's asked, do you have an idea where the body is? Yes, we do. We have a solid idea. We have a good idea where the body is. And then within the same breath, 10 minutes later, I never said that. Now, Castillo brought up a good point. I listened to his interview that he had on his podcast regarding that. And I think that, yes, there's both sheriff industries. They're definitely doing a good job of, boots on the ground and going out there and work on it. However, they're not doing 100%. And the reason why I say that is because there's too many loopholes. And for them to push out the media like they did to our homie on the Tira, that just doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why I say that is because I've worked in California. I've worked for the news stations. I've covered thousands of homicides, murder investigations. And they've never been that dynamic to push people out, ever. They've always asked and begged for the community's help.
Yeah, I mean, the way they treated the guy, I think they did that because of, just right prior to that, he reported that they found a baby, and it kind of everybody ran with it on the internet, and it wasn't true. And should they have treated him like that? Probably not, but I think that's why they treated him like that.
I mean, yes and no. He is very, very well known. I mean, he's very well known, especially the Inland Empire. Because law enforcement doesn't talk about him, or they don't want to give him credit. Doesn't mean that they don't know him. But I think what he's doing or what he was doing was excellent. And back to, I'm juggling two pieces of information here. I think Detective Moses Castillo is excellent at what he does. He's a private investigator. Yeah, he's a retired, homicide detective many, many moons ago. But I think what he does, especially for missing children, he's got a pretty high success rate.
I don't know I don't really know who he is. And when I was talking about that, it wasn't really so much in reference to him. It was to former YouTube detectives. I was a detective back in 1981.
Trust me. Yes, I know.
Well, technology and DNA and a lot of things have changed since you was a detective. 100%. That was my point that I was making. Yeah. Not so much against the guy that was on the news, because I don't even know who that guy is, but more towards the people that were on YouTube that are these, YouTube detectives.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100% on there, 100%. Now, I don't know if you watched Gunner Collections YouTube channel, but he interviewed Jake Haro's brother, the one that's deceased, best friend, and he had him on the line over there, and very interesting. And
that's so weird. That's like interviewing your brother's cousin, sister's best friend. I mean, if you go down what the hell does that have to do with anything? Kind of thing.
I'll tell you why it all plays in a part was because he was at the funeral for obviously his best friend, the one that suppostely overdosed, and brought up a lot of good factors. He said, well, during that time period, he really believes that Jake had something to do with
the OD of him passing. Yeah, I've heard those rumors.
Right. No. So what I was getting at though was after listening to his interview and listening to a couple things that they had to say, I'm definitely not saying that one of the parents is innocent at all. But what I am going to say is I would be very, very, very shocked if Jake doesn't walk. Because I honestly feel with everything going on, it's going to be her pushed under the bus. And even though Jake has a criminal history, especially with child abuse, I feel that he's going to walk out of this. He's going to walk away.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think he's going to walk away. I think a jury would convict him in a matter of quick, just on his previous things. Because when they look at him, they're going to see a monster. They're going to see a monster. As soon as they hear about his previous charges, they're not going to be able to get past that. If anybody is going to walk in this, it'll be Rebecca, is my opinion. So we might have to agree to disagree right there.
No, I could see, I can see a two-sided sword here. But I mean, here's one thing that you have to keep in mind that a lot of people do not want to, like, especially our listeners or people that are involved in, keyboard warriors, however they call it.
Keyboard warriors.
You can't go to a trial, okay? If you're on the case, you can't go to a trial thinking about somebody's past. Is it going to be there? Is it in the back of mind? Yes. But you got to go with what's current, and what's current cannot affect somebody's past. So if you're sitting on there and you're one of the, you're one of the 12 in the box, you can't just say, well, because he beat his other kid many, many years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever the case is, I'm going to find him guilty.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I absolutely can. If I was in the box, as soon as you told me what he did to the last kid, I'm going to say, well, this is what he probably did to this kid. I mean, it puts that thought in your mind instantly. You can't say it don't.
I'm not saying me as an individual is not going to think like that, but I'm saying that today's society, today's people, that's how they're going to think. They're going to think, and like I believe your girlfriend said the same thing. All it takes is one person that feels sorry for him or her. And
for her, maybe not for nobody's going to feel sorry for him. People don't feel sorry for dudes. They always feel sorry for women. Nobody feels sorry for dudes. Do something wrong and see if anybody feels sorry for you.
No, trust me. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody feels sorry for dudes. Nobody.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I'm not speaking as myself or something that I would do, because I would fucking hang them both. Period. But you're gonna get people like that. You're gonna get people that are gonna be like, well, you know what though? Let's not overthink this and find a reason to come back innocent. You're gonna get people like that, and I strongly believe that every publicized case like this is gonna have one of those people in it. And
we'll
I
see.
think
We'll see. I mean, I think that's
gonna be. You're right.
We'll, because this is everybody's interested in, and like I said, we've only got through phase 1. We haven't got through phase 2. Yeah. We ain't got to phase 3 yet, so we're still just at the very end of phase 1. And let's see what they can put together between now and then. It's hard to predict the future with not very much to go on, Yeah,
no, you're absolutely. I mean, like I said, you're absolutely right. I do agree with you 100% on that. And every phase is gonna have a turning point. But I'm really find it hard with the no body, no case thing.
I don't. Because I've sat through. I've sat through trials with nobody in person, and I watched a man get convicted in 30 minutes. You couldn't have went outside and ate a bag of cheese as fast as the jury convicted him with no evidence.
How many of those cases were in California?
None. So yeah, you maybe that's the only scary part. That's the only equation that I can't add up. It's California. I can be honest with you, because California is almost like its own different country. So it's hard to really, for me to say this is what's going to happen. I know anything could happen. So hopefully phase 2 to me is build the case against them, build a strong enough case that they get the conviction. That's the most important thing. Phase 2 is getting the evidence for me. Phase 3 is the conviction. Phase 4 is the sentencing of them.
Right. I'm curious to see what's going to pop up come Thursday.
Yeah, we'll find out. I can't wait to see what they plead. But you be good. Stay safe, brother.
Josh from the
lab. You too, man. Take care, brother.
All right, peace. That's definitely not Josh from the lab, because I talked to Josh many a time, and that's not Josh.
All right, I'm going in here.
So, guys out there in chat, that was not Josh from
half
the lab.
Chat was thinking it was him, and I know.
No, it's not Josh. No. Josh don't call in here much anyway.
He's on the opposite team.
Yeah, he's on Team Monkey Boy, I think.
Josh, but he's on the opposite team.
Yeah, he hangs with the other side. Okay. there's a couple sides on these internet streets. I don't think he sides with me. Okay. I don't think he sides with me. Oh, I talked with Josh, and I think that no, it's not Josh. It's not Josh. They got a very strong case. Well, we don't know. We don't know what the police know. We don't know what circumstantial evidence they have. And I mean, we can't, like he said, though, we can't charge this guy on his past. But you got to remember, the jury's human. And when you hear this man's past, you're going to go, he should be in prison right now. Right? I mean, that's what I would think. Right? If y'all would think the same thing as me, press 1 in the chat. If you just heard this man's past, what's the first thing you're going to think? He hurt this baby. The baby's gone, right? He has this terrible past. He should be in prison already. I would think instantly, if I was a juror, that he hurt this baby without no evidence, without nothing, just that. If you just told me this man fractured the skull of a kid, the kid had broken bones, 10 weeks old, I'm going to be like, put this bitch in jail right now, even though he's not being charged for that. I'm going to hold him for that. Like when O.J. Simpson went to court for stealing his own stuff back, they couldn't get him for the murder. What did they give him? 56 years for stealing his own shit? They charged him for that murder that second time. That's how they thought. They were like, he needs to be in prison anyway. Let's throw the book at him. That's what a normal jury's going to do. But I mean, does he have a defense? I mean, yeah, if I was his defense lawyer, I would have him a defense. And just like if I was her defense attorney, I would have her a good defense. right? And you really, like I said, you only got to convince one person, and it's when they start pointing the fingers at each other, that's where it gets tricky. Okay, that's when it gets tricky. And right now they may not be doing that, but let me tell you, when lawyers get involved, a lawyer ain't stupid. They're going to tell her, point your finger at him and say he did it, unless you want to go to prison forever with him. All right, do you want to go to prison with him forever? That's what they're going to tell her, right? If you want to sit in prison for the next 50 years right beside your husband, or do you want to point your finger at him? Maybe one day you'll get to see your kids again. You can go visit him in prison. She's going to point the finger at him. He's already in interviews saying she didn't do nothing. So any decent attorney is going to be like, she was abused. She's damn sure like 2 black eyes and look like she's a punching bag. She could walk. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey,
it's Chief.
What's up, Chief?
Thank you for going out there.
No problem.
The last one you talked to that night when you said you was going to go out there, you was thinking about it. I said, go for it. Dolly done it.
So, hold on. Somebody asked what happened to my soap business. I still sell soap. Get you some. Wash your cracks. Okay. BuyDollySoap.com right there. That's a good way to support the channel. We got the best soap in the game, right? You ain't clean unless you're using Dolly soap, right? You walking around with a dirty cracks when you could be clean as a whistle like that. Look how clean I look. Look at that.
You are clean as a whistle, son.
That's Dolly soap right there, Chief. That's Dolly soap.
So here's my thoughts. You were there in person. Did they ever put up crime scene tape when they went in and searched the house?
Yes.
All right. Was that crime scene tape up after the fact that they left?
Yeah. Well, for a while, and then they opened it back up. The cop told me, right? He was like, look, I don't know why he told me, but I was the first person he told. He said, look, we're getting ready to take the tape down, and the people that's on the second block, we're going to allow them to come up. So he's like, if you want to get your vehicle where you can get out, you might want to do it now before we allow all the people.
I'm saying, yeah, I know they had the street blocked off so far that you couldn't get in front of the house when they were there. But I'm saying after the fact, was there ever crime scene tape across that driveway in front of the house directly?
At one point there was, but it was taken down.
That should have never came down. That was active crime scene.
Well, I guess once forensic left, that was it. They opened it back up.
But that was kind of stupid on their own part, because if you think about it, if you got crime scene tape and if you got crime scene tape, why don't you have cops on there? People are calling the cops because there was disruptive shit going on, like the guy across the street, right? Well, why wouldn't you have the police there on hand, knowing there's crowds of people coming 24/7 till, hey, if we got to go back into this crime scene, now it's tampered because people have been going in and out, this and that. The public, I'm talking. It then makes no damn sense to me.
Well, I think whatever they needed in the house, they got out of the house because they allowed the owner to go up to the house.
What if they missed something and they needed to go back? Now you got other people's footprints in there and fingerprints.
They made that decision. Detectives made that decision.
Yeah.
Right. So they figured they had processed the crime scene. They done what they needed to do with the crime scene, and it wasn't no need for them to be there anymore. I mean, would be my only guess. I mean, I don't work with the police, but once the forensics left, that's when they decided, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
They had got what they needed, or there wasn't nothing of interest or value to them, and they left. I mean,
I think that was a little bit too soon. They should have kept that up. Kept that place guarded just in case they had to go back in. And my other thing is, they had the Ring camera on the front gate by where you were reporting.
They took that.
They took that. You gave that lady your phone, and she went around the side, and there was that other Ring camera up close to the house.
Yep.
You think there was cameras in that house?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would just be me taking a guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I have cameras in my house. I mean,
yeah, and then the neighbors across the street with that fence, their cameras can't see the front of that house probably unless
it
they
can
have
probably
one
see
on
the
the outside.
driveway. It can see the driveway, who's coming and going, probably.
Well, yeah, but that was a high fence. I'm saying, was there a camera on the outside of the fence?
No,
Where the
it was
guy threw that?
it was on the soffit of the house, like on the trim
Oh,
of the
okay,
house.
so it could see over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. I mean, I just got to thinking about that. Why would they leave the crime scene wide open like that and let people go back and forth on there?
I mean, we don't know if that's the crime scene or not either. You're guessing
Yeah.
that's the crime scene.
I mean, I would think the whole property till they,
How do we know they did it at home and they didn't do it in the vehicle that he didn't die
yeah.
or something? We don't know exactly where. Right now, that's all rumors that they even found blood.
And do we
And
know if
that came from News Nation. Look, News Nation was wrong about the confession. So
Yeah.
a lot of this is, if it's not coming from official sources, we got to take it with a grain of salt, because we've seen the media has been wrong a bunch in this case. So,
And the other thing I wonder is the neighbors.
Mhm.
Did they interview any of the neighbors? Like,
well, there's only one neighbor.
yeah, the one across the street.
Yeah.
And then the house that burnt down that was vacant.
They wasn't there. Yeah. And that's, there's two neighbors. Three neighbors. There's one directly across the street. There's a guy that lives next to him. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's a open field, a big field, and then there's another house. So there's
Yeah.
really only, I would say, what I would consider a neighbor, two of them. Close.
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
of them are a pretty good distance away.
But I mean, any strange. What I'm saying is that one of them could have seen some strange shit going on. I mean, had the cops been there before for any calls in the past besides?
I mean, I don't know.
Noah?
I couldn't tell you. Not that I know of.
Yeah, I mean,
so not that I even
sometimes
heard
I
of, and that's
that
rare,
stuff
because
up.
usually we hear about stuff like that, but I haven't heard of any other police calls being to that house.
And the last thing I want to say to you, my man, is a friend of my family's is Margot Martin, which happens to be Donald Trump's personal advisor. I don't know if you know who that is. Well, I whispered in her ear, and she's going to be doing a little look in. I asked her to ask Donnie over there up in the White House to have a look-ski into why these cases in Tennessee are taking so long and why we're not getting anywhere.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yep. And I also threw your name to her and guilty of crime.
Cool.
Trying to get you noticed by the big man.
By the big man? I've met Donald Trump. I met him. I got a signed hat by him over there. Yeah.
That's cool.
I met him when he was on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
So
I met him when I was a kid.
I can tell you now, for an old man, he has a strong ass handshake. I thought he was gonna break my damn knuckles.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
He must have shook a million hands, but when I shook his hand, I could feel my bones. I mean, he got a grip. And not only that, when he shook my hand, he pulled me into him, right? Like all up on him. I'm like, damn, what are you doing? He just he's a strong old man. That dude got some grip. He got some grip on him.
I got to meet him a couple times when I was a kid.
Well, I met him.
My grandfather knew him because he used to work for my grandfather worked for a printing press company, and my grandfather used to go to Trump Tower and fix the printing presses that they had there.
Yeah, I met him right at the end of Apprentice when he had first announced that he was going to run for president. Because I remember when he shook my hand, he asked me, "Do you support me?" That's what he said. And I was like, "Yeah, you gonna sign my hat?" He was like, "Yeah," he signed my hat.
That's cool.
But he was a nice guy, right? He was with a dude, he had security with him, and the dude had I don't know, he had a submachine gun on him. I could see it in the back of his jacket. He's a little small Asian guy that was with him, and he was walking down the street. And the guy that was with him was his security, and he was wearing a windbreaker, and it was summertime, right? Like one of those thin ones, and it was blowing in the wind as I was standing there talking to Donald Trump, and I looked, and I could see the submachine gun in the back of his pants. So
Wow.
yeah. But anyway, all right, Chief.
Yep. Oh, one more thing. I got $5,200 off of his casino back in the day in Atlantic City.
Okay. All right. I've never been to one of Trump's casinos, but that's big money. I don't do a lot of gambling anyway. I think that the other day was the first time I ever did any gambling, like real gambling, in a long time. I
Did you make any money?
I won $20.
That's cool, and you quit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I played for a couple hours. I was playing blackjack for a couple hours, and it was $15 a hand, and I came out $20 on top. So I don't think I did too bad. And I played for a couple hours, and I was learning how to play it because there's all these weird ways to bet, and I didn't know. I didn't know like how to really play because I don't gamble. So I learned a little bit. There was a couple people sitting at the table trying to teach me how the bets and shit work, but I still didn't really get it. But I was up probably like, I don't know, $150 at one point, but then I lost it all. But I still ended up, I won. I left the blackjack table with $10. I won $10. And then I left a horse racing track with $10. So I didn't lose anything. I gained $20.
Hell yeah.
So, all right, Chief.
You got to hit them slot machines.
Yeah. The last time I was in Atlantic City, I won 150 on the slot machine.
Oh,
on a dollar, waiting for PJ because she'd like to play him. To me, it's like a bingo hall. I'm not really big on gambling, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm not either, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Have
Peace.
a good night, Dolly. Thanks for talking to you.
Yeah. So I had never played blackjack in a casino. So the next time I go to like a casino, I'm going to start studying up on my blackjack because I did pretty good, right? Just off the basics, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really have any strategy. And the dudes at the table were trying to teach me strategy, like, you know, a bus card, like if they had like a skill to it. One dude was on the blackjack table. He was winning all kind of money. And he was a dude trying to coach me, right? He was like, look, man, if she pulls this or that, you know, you stay because if she flips another card, she's going to bust. Right. So they were trying to help me. And I think that helping, once they started helping me a little bit, I started to really win. I got up a little bit, but then they won them all the money I guess they needed, and they got up and left. So then it was just me and her, and then she kind of got her money back. You know what I'm saying? But then I knew to go, okay, before she takes all my money, let me get the hell out of the blackjack table. And then I went upstairs and started playing horse racing. And then I didn't know shit about the horse racing, so I had to start learning it. And then I hit. And then I was like, okay, let me stop playing this, right? So I probably gambled in casino for about 3 hours and was up $20, which don't sound like a lot, but it gave me some entertainment, right? So it was fine for me. It was just fun to play, and I wasn't really trying to walk away with, you know, a big win or nothing. I was just trying to play the games. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Yes.
This is Pit Road Mama.
Hey, Pit Road.
Hey. I'm going back to the where they keep saying that he's abused. That is no.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay, you keep going back to he was abused and what?
That's no excuse.
Uh-huh.
I was born and raised in New York, and I moved to Florida with my son's dad.
Uh-huh.
And he abused me left and right. I had a 8-month-old baby.
Uh-huh.
I left Florida and went back to New York and took my son to my mother and left him there till I could get out of that situation.
Uh-huh.
That's no excuse. You know, it is hard to get out of an abusive relationship.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially if you ain't got nowhere to go.
Right. I've been there, done that, and I finally left mine in the bed, sleeping at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when I moved to Tennessee. But, you know, it is hard. You know, when you're abused, you're abused. But there's things that you can do to protect your baby.
I absolutely agree with that. But don't you think she's going to argue that when she's in court that she's abused?
Well, but I'm saying there's no excuse for it.
I don't think so either. I think she could have got out too. But I know she don't have a defense other than that she was scared, she was abused. And I know that's what her lawyer is going to tell her to say. I mean, if I was her lawyer, that's what I would tell her. That
why didn't you take that baby to her mom? Let her mom take that baby so she could get out of it.
But because she cared about that man more than she did about her baby.
Exactly. That's what's wrong with everybody nowadays. They pick a man over their children.
Absolutely.
Man, I took mine all the way from Florida back to New York to stay with my mother till I could get myself straightened out and get out of it. And he was 8 months old then.
Just like Sebastian Rogers, I think Katie picked Chris over Sebastian.
Oh, she did.
You know, and this is a similar situation. Rebecca picked Jake over her child.
And they're saying that that lawyer that she hired,
that's
not a point. It's not a point accorded lawyer. It's a old DA.
Yes, old DA. I heard that too.
Okay, and Jake has a new lawyer. He don't have an appointed lawyer no more.
Where are they getting all this money?
I don't know, but he's got the DA's one of his partners. It's a woman that is defending him now.
I know this, that if they're his lawyer can't have any communication with her lawyer,
right?
So
but it's a partner, a woman that Jake's got, and they're in the same, I guess, same company or something.
It can't be. That'd be a conflict of interest. That's why you can't have two public defenders from the same office.
That's what I thought, but they hired lawyers. I don't know where they got all the money, but they both hired lawyers. He fired the appointed attorney and hired one.
Yeah, but they can't be from the same office. If they were from the same office, it'd be a conflict of interest. They could share information. They because that's why when the prosecutor, like when they were going to a court appointed them a lawyer, they were having a problem because they were going to have to. The court could only give one lawyer because they all are in the public defender's office together.
Right.
They definitely said that, huh? I didn't know you could. If that's the case, I didn't know you could do that. I had no clue.
I don't know if they're still in partners together, but when he was a DA, they was in partners maybe. But it's a woman that he was partners with. That Jake hired him. I don't know where they're getting the money from, but
yeah, I know she has a lawyer that used to be a DA. I know that. So that DA knows what they're going to do to try to prosecute her because he's a DA. So, and he's smart enough to, say, blame it on him. They're going to blame each other. They're going to blame that. There's no doubt in my mind they're blaming each other.
Now
they might not be right this second, but time it hits court, they're going to be blaming each other.
She's going to stick to the story. Somebody hit her in the head and stole it, baby.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. She's going to have a different story time she hits that courtroom. There ain't no lawyer in the world going to let her walk into court and say that. There ain't no lawyer in this whole damn world going to let her walk in that courtroom and say that story. She's going to walk and say that's what he made her say. She was scared for her life. I mean, I can almost guarantee it. I can almost write the script that she's going to say. Because if not, they're both going to prison forever. Your job is to try to get somebody off. So they got to blame each other. If they don't, they're not trying to defend themselves, So, I mean, it sucks that it got to be that way, but a lawyer's going to let you know, hey, this is the way it got to be. If not, you're both going to prison forever. Do you want to get out? You can see your kids and visit him, or do you want to go to prison with him? And she's going to break. She's going to go in there and say, I'm scared of him. He beats on me. He did this. I went along with it because I was scared for my life, and show me leniency. I mean, you had to, at that point, you had to be on the mercy of the court.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I don't know. But then again, like everybody says, we're in California.
Okay, well, somebody's saying nope, they have public defenders, but hers is from a LA firm, from a law firm pro bono, paid by the state of California. That's what they're saying.
I heard that hired one, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you be good.
All right, y'all have a safe trip.
All right. Thank you. Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote, guys. This is a good topic. This is what's going to happen in court. If you think Rebecca is going to play the victim, I want you to press 1. Okay. If you think she's going to stand by her man, I want you to press 2. But like this video first. Don't cheat. Like the video. If you think she's going to play victim, press 1. If you think she's going to stand by her man, press 2. Because I'm really thinking she's going to play victim. You would be dumb not to. You'd be super stupid. Like, I don't think she's that stupid. I think she's going to go in there and she is going to play victim. You think she's going to stand by her man? Okay. There's a few people that think she's going to stand by her man, but there's a lot of ones in the chat. A lot. Right? Flippy thinks she's going to stand by the man. Dread Lover, stand by my man. I don't know. She seems dumb. Okay. Listen, it don't really matter what they're saying right now. What matters is what they say when they walk into court. Okay. When they walk into court and she goes, I told that, I gave this story because he said he was going to hurt me or kill me. And you got to remember, her lawyer is a DA. He knows what they're coming with. He knows. Why somebody would take this case pro bono, if that is the case. I'll find out that information tomorrow. I've been busy running around today, so I may have missed a couple little things in this. Why would you do that? Why would you defend somebody that would hurt a child? Right? If you walked in my lawyer's office and said, hey, you want to represent this lady that hurt her kid? I'm going to be like, hell no. No, I'm not. Can you give me a dude that robbed a bank or something? Something that don't involve hurting children? I couldn't represent you if you hurt a kid. Not in good conscience, unless I really believed you were innocent. You walked in my office and say, Dolly, I didn't hurt my kid. I'm going to do my best to prove to you I didn't hurt my kid. I would never hurt my kid. I may try to help you if you can convince me that you didn't do nothing. But if it looked like you hurt your kid, I wouldn't represent you. I mean, I know lawyers do all this shit for money, but I mean, how much money do you need? Most lawyers ain't broke, right? If you see a broke lawyer, he ain't a very good lawyer. So I just couldn't sell my values and morals for that unless I truly believed you were innocent. All right, let me open the phone lines back up. I just wanted to get that out, to see where you guys are at. She says she would never hurt a child. She's delusional. She don't have a history. Dolly.
Hi, Dolly. This is Tiana. I'm calling from the Pacific Northwest. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad.
This is my first time getting through to you, so I'm glad I got you tonight. But I had a couple of comments. I used to be an ABA therapist. And one of the motives that I think for Sebastian Rogers' disappearance is, one of them was paying child support. And when Katie and Chris had Sebastian, they're getting child support, right? If he were to go back to his dad, then they're going to be having to pay him child support. And it's been brought up that they're trying to get full custody of his daughter, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be a motive to get rid of Sebastian so they wouldn't have to pay the child support if he went back to dad?
Yeah, I mean, that could be a motive. I mean, but we're not dealing with broke people either.
Still, maybe it was that Chris didn't want to be giving money to him because he wanted to spend the money on the very expensive custody case of his own daughter.
Yeah, and we got to remember they really couldn't afford the homes they were looking at either. They were too expensive. Seth couldn't.
Right. So, I think that was the motive at the end of the day, is to get rid of him.
I mean, money is the root of all. Money is the root of all evil.
Definitely. And, when you're dealing with a special needs child, that has lots of care and maybe therapies that need to be paid for and things like that, you know, that they might have had to come out of pocket per a custody agreement. So that would make sense for them to get rid of him. Now,
yeah, but you know what? I don't think Seth was paying child support.
I bet he was.
I don't know.
I bet he was, because they had primary custody of him, of Sebastian, right?
You ever heard
So,
Seth say you ever heard Seth say he paid child support?
I would assume if
you would
he's the
assume, but have
non-custodial
you ever heard him say he's paid them child support?
I can't say that I've seen anything in particular that, you know, explains their child support situation, but I'm only assuming, you know, that the father would be paying the mother if she had primary custody.
People are saying she paid alimony to Seth.
She was paying alimony to him?
I mean, that's what people are saying in the chat. I'm not positive, but I've never heard Seth one time say he paid child support on Sebastian. He basically said he would get him kind of what he needed, and he didn't pay nothing. That's what I'm assuming. You're assuming he did. I'm assuming he didn't.
Right. But if she's paying him, right, and the custody goes to him,
then she would have to pay him. I understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That would be the motive for having the money go that way, for them to get him out of the way so they wouldn't have to pay that money anymore. Or be looking at paying that money.
I'm not saying it is impossible that is a motive for them to do something. Money makes people do a lot of crazy stuff, right? And maybe you're right. There's a reason this kid is gone. That's the speculation part. Did she over medicate him? Did they get in a fight? Is it over money?
I think she took him out of that house. The lights video, someone came out of that house with flashlights. They were meeting someone at the road. The car was there. You know what I mean? And a kid like that, autistic kids have programs, and for the most part,
but they're saying Steph didn't pay child support, that he shared custody. That's just what the chat's saying. I mean, I never heard him one time say Seth couldn't pay child support. Chris got him the job he had, for Pete's sake. That don't mean he didn't get paid child support once he got the job. But Seth kind of seems like he was from check to check and not doing his, you know, Chris and Katie, they doing good. They doing a lot better than me.
So
I can tell you that.
If you've got a household with two parents that are working, going into a single parent's home, and that parent makes less money, they would have been paying him money for child support.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
so that's where I think the motive came from.
It could
and
be.
I think that night they had it planned out. I think he came back from wherever he was, Chris, picked him up, and they took him wherever he was, whether he's no longer with us.
See, that's where I disagree, because this day and age, we got cameras, tag readers. I believe Chris was at work. I think the 3-hour phone call is Chris telling her what to do, and she done it. I don't think Chris was there, because
but you don't think that they would have seen her get him out of the house?
I'm smart enough to check that alibi. No, because the car was parked in the garage that night. She said that even on Nancy Grace.
But what I'm saying is if she would have took Seth out of the house, there was cameras that were facing her house that would have caught her leaving.
She left that morning. We don't know where she went that morning. We got to remember, all she had to do was go 5 miles out the radius. The police didn't search for a 5-mile radius. If she went 5 miles out the radius, and you got to remember, they also called the police by 3-way. That way, the police couldn't track where she was at. And not only that, they didn't even call the police. They called the sheriff. So we don't know where Katie was at when she left that house, where she went that morning, and who was in the car, because the car was parked in the garage. So if she loaded him into the car, you would have never known.
True.
And all they had to do was hide him, put him somewhere until the heat blew down a little bit, then go move him. And
so do you think the lights at whatever it was, 3 o'clock in the morning, have nothing to do with it?
Nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with it.
I think it's way too much of a coincidence.
It is kind of coincidental now. I'm going to tell you, I don't
Way
really
too much
believe
of a
in coincidence, but
Exactly.
remember Seth said that he went to the police and he seen parts of the video that we didn't see. And he said it was a trash truck, those lights. Seth, out his own mouth, said that on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can pull that up. Seth said, look, they took me in a room. They showed me more of the video. The video you're seeing on TV is a camera. The guy's holding it up to he recorded it off the TV and his hand's shaking. So it appears that lights are moving. But when I watched the video at the police station, they showed me the daytime where the lights were, and he said it was a trash truck. Seth himself has said that. Once he got with those scammers and crooks, then he changed his story. Then he was like, oh, I don't believe it's a trash truck. And he started pushing that narrative. But when he first came on this channel, he said the police took him in a room, showed him the whole video that was recorded, not just a little section of it, but the whole thing with the whole screen. And he said it was a trash truck.
Yeah.
And that ain't me making it up. That's what he told me. And he told me that right
I know
here.
what they've said online. I just don't believe.
I mean, I still got it on video.
It.
I still got it on video
Yeah.
where he said it. He said, I guarantee Seth out his own mouth said it's a trash truck and he's seen it with his own eyes. Yeah. Now, I didn't make him say that. He said that on his own. So I believed him when he said, hey, and then he changed his story because Seth's always changing his story. So,
well, aren't they? Well, I mean, with the exception, they haven't really said much, and it's all like she just drives me crazy. Like, I'm sorry, but she doesn't act at all like a mom.
No, she don't.
She doesn't.
I don't think Seth has anything to do with the disappearance of his kid. I just think he's wish-washy. You know?
Well, just like you and I mean, if either one of our kids were out there, we would be a hot menace to society, you know, on every channel, talking to everyone that we could out there, not the way that they are.
I agree.
Not wanting to help.
I agree.
So I still think they're the ones to blame. I think the 3 a.m. lights.
I think they're the ones to blame too. I think they're the ones to blame.
So.
But I don't know if the lights have anything to do with it. I still think they got something to do with it. But I believe that Sebastian left that house that morning in that car. Truly do. So that's the only person to leave, and that car was parked in the garage. So if you put him in the car, you wouldn't know, and we don't know where she went for that 15 to 45 minutes that she was missing.
And then just one other thing I wanted to say before I get off, because I know other people want to call and talk to you, popular guys. I work in an inpatient and a detox center. Meth does not cause psychosis. It's actually from being up for days on end, the sleep deprivation that cause psychosis and cause them to have, you know, hallucinations and things like that. So that was the only other thing I was going to say about the Malaya and that situation.
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel.
I mean, there's a lot of even their family came out and said when they were in the house, they went in the bathroom and he was in there doing, you know, 2 + 2 = 4. He was doing math. He was doing the math homework in the bathroom. So, you know, and he came out and acting like he's all clean, but the other side saying he's dirty. Who do you believe? I don't believe none of them, but
from all the interviews that I've seen of him,
to
me, he doesn't give me the vibe, but he could have been sober those days.
That's what I said too. I said the exact same thing. I said when I see him, he seems to appear to be sober, but that don't mean he when he goes in the house at night, he ain't taking a blast, taking a spaceship to the moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then other things that I look at, you know, as someone who sees this every single day, is his face is very clear. He doesn't have, you know, acting that you would see and things like that. So to me,
but that's more of a constant user. What if he's just an occasional user of?
That's true.
You know, you won't have those same effects. That's long exposure to, you know, the math problems.
Well, it depends on how much. Yeah, it depends on how much you're doing it.
Yeah,
but even
because that stuff comes out your pores. All them bad
Yeah.
chemicals they put in it, it starts to seep out your pores, and usually a lot of it's from people digging at themselves.
Yep.
Thinking something's on them, and they're picking at their face and shit.
Itching. You can get things like that, and all kinds. There's all different kinds of symptoms, you know, and it depends on, is it just math, or does the math have other things in it
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
You be good.
All right. Have a good night, Dolly. I'll be watching you from work.
All right. Peace. Now, here's the thing about that is, yeah, usually I think when we see people itching and picking, it's usually more of a down, right? You know, they're on that H, that white pony, whatever you want to call it, right? They tend to pick at themselves and be itchy, and that's usually when people are doing. But it sometimes it's with the ups too, you know, depending on. I mean, I don't know. I don't do those type of drugs, so I don't. I'm paranoid enough without anything, right? I got anxiety. I can only imagine messing with some hard stuff. I'd done lose my damn mind. I don't know. I just don't believe them, right? I don't believe them. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Tim 6:10. Okay, Timothy 6:10. So yeah, that's the one problem I'm glad I don't have to fight is some drug addiction. I have a hard enough time with not drinking soda. So I mean, I couldn't imagine. I would never get off. It's hard enough. But then again, I quit smoking, right? Cigarettes. I quit smoking the sticky. I'm officially over 1 year now. About 3 or 4 years, no cigarettes. Well, 3 years, no cigarettes. 1 year, no sticky. I don't do any drugs. I just stick to the medicines my doctor give me for my blood pressure and you know, nothing hard, no painkillers, no nothing. I don't even like eating aspirin, but I got to eat one a day, a baby aspirin, right, for my heart. But just thank God. Thank God. I mean, I've always stayed away from that, but it's because I've seen what it does, you know, like if you've been around a junkie or a drug addict, you won't never want to do it. I think when your kids are young or they're at that age, about 11, I think you should really take them to a methadone clinic or somewhere where there's a lot of people that are bad on drugs and show them what it does to you. Right. Because if you don't see it, you may not understand it. Right. And you know, when I was young, I grew up around a lot of alcoholics. So I've never really been a big drinker because I didn't want to turn into an alcoholic because I've seen what alcoholics look like, you know, shaking, got to have a beer and stuff like that. I just never wanted that for my life, you know? So I've always been scared to turn out like that. And I think really you got to scare people these days or let them know because nobody wants to be a drug addict. I don't think. Right. And a lot of people fight demons and they turn to these things. And then once you turn to them, you don't think you're going to get hooked. And then next thing you know, you in an alley somewhere on your knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hell no. Oh, nah. It just, I've seen really good people get strung out on drugs, lose their life, or lose everything they had. So for all you that are fighting that addiction and you know, been there and done that, continue to fight, right? Continue to fight. And that ain't the life for anybody. There's usually people that are hooked on drugs end up two places, prison and the graveyard, right? And I don't want to be either place. I can tell you that. So just say no, people. I'm a strong supporter to just say no thing, you know. Drink your beer and maybe something sticky, but stay away from anything that's going to destroy your life. I wouldn't recommend that. And even kids, stay away from all of it until you grow up and realize you may need something. You know what I'm saying? To help you battle a little bit, but just say no. Just say no, people. All right, let's open the phone lines. Phone lines are back open. That was my Just Say No Nancy Reagan commercial right there. Okay. Hopefully somebody will listen. It'll help somebody. Dolly.
Hi, Dolly. This is Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
I just wanted to call and say hi.
Oh, well, hi. How you doing?
Good.
Awesome. Me too. I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
So did you want to discuss these cases or you just wanted to say hello?
I wanted to say hi. I think Jake and Rebecca both should stay in prison. I think they're both guilty, so.
Yeah, I think they're both guilty too. But, you know, we got to see how the court system works. And, you know, California is a little lenient. And if somebody feels sorry for this woman because she was abused and she starts pointing the finger at him, she may, I don't think she'll completely walk, but I don't think she'll get life in prison.
Yeah, true.
You know, but we'll see. All right. Well, you be good and you stay safe.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Now, let's pray she goes to prison. Dolly.
Dolly, it's Shauna, Georgia.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I really, to be honest with you, I've been following true crime and missing kids, and it's to the point where I'm like you. I'm just confused. I'm tired of being flip-flopped. I don't know what news is correct or wrong or right or whatever. My case is I don't understand the world anymore. I think, like, why does God give children to people that are going to take their lives? Why do we have places like St. Jude's when we can put people on the moon? Just things like that don't add up to me. We can do so much, but yet we can't save these innocent children. It's
I
so
think St.
confusing.
Jude saves a lot of lives. You talking about St.
I'm
Jude?
not saying they don't. I'm saying the techniques and the technology that we have has come so far that we can put man on the moon and save cancer, cure cancers and of some kind.
But the problem is, this is where it's going to get you. We can't put man on the moon. We can't do that. We can't put a man on the moon.
So that's all fake too? That's what I mean. How is all this legal? You can say
I mean, they said they put man on the moon, but now they can't because they lost the trajectory to get to the moon.
What the hell? Straight up.
That's what they said.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
oh my God, that's crazy.
There's a scientist that was on the International Space Station, a woman, and she said they asked her what she was doing on the International Space Station. And she said she was doing research to one day get us out of lower Earth orbit. Okay, well, if you can't get us out of lower Earth orbit, how did you go to the moon?
Exactly. I don't understand, but and the thing about like these parents that are just not even like Jake and Rebecca should have not even had the courage to stand up and do something like that. They should have known it was not going to work, but they do stuff like that because people like, I feel like Jack and Lily's mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like he came into this to be a star, Netflix star, I believe. You know, it's just so people's minds is so far off from normal. Like I'm not sure we're not living with aliens in Edgar suits.
Well, we may be living with aliens.
Well, you remember on Men in Black, you know, the guy that turned into, he was a cockroach dude, but they said he was walking around in a fresh Edgar suit.
Have you ever heard of Robert Bigelow?
Yes.
Robert Bigelow owned Motel 6. He also owned the Skinwalker Ranch. He also owns Bigelow Space, which he's a contractor for the U.S. military. They asked him, and he's a billionaire. They said, he actually said, why would I look for aliens? They're already here. And the lady said, wow. People are going to say, think you're crazy for saying something like that. He said, it don't matter what people think.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's a billionaire. What does he give a damn what you think? But that's what
yeah, you're right. But I'm confused about where my mom and my grandparents and everybody start teaching us church and God. But none of this both can't be true, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that don't believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see. And now, AI technology, don't believe nothing you hear and don't believe nothing you see.
So Jack and Lily ain't really missing, and this is not really happening. It's just
They're really
propaganda news.
No, they're missing.
I understand, but that's my point.
They're really
That's
missing.
what I'm saying.
I'm
I
saying the
literally cry and lose sleep over
major
it.
things in the world. Don't believe none of that. But for these missing kids, these kids are really missing. You know, all
I understand that, and I'm not all stuff aside, everything aside. I am trying to write a book right now, like a memoir, and I'm not talking craziness. Like I haven't left my house in 2 years, but I promise you, Jack and Lily's case, Naziah Harris, they make me want to stand up and tell people what I saw, how I lived through it, so that maybe they can see that, you know, the dangers out there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
and it just,
the dangers,
they're giving me courage and
that
strength.
don't love their kids. I mean, but that ain't really, people shouldn't be hurting their kids. That's on them. Right?
I don't understand how you give birth. You carried that baby for 9 months and gave birth to it. How do you not love it? And I understand, like, maybe she had some postpartum depression, but postpartum depression, if she really had it, the sound of any child would have drove her insane and made her want, like my sister wanted to literally strangle her kid when it cried. But she was honest and told us that when we got her help. We got her help, but she was honest, you know what I'm saying? And she had 2 other kids before that. So, and it didn't happen before. So it does happen, but not like that. You wouldn't love one kid, but want to take the other 2 out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it happens. All right, you be good. Thanks for calling.
All right, you too. Y'all have a good night.
All right, peace. Yeah, aliens are amongst us, according to some people. Not me. I ain't say that, right? But rich, powerful people seem to believe that aliens are here. And you got to remember, this man owns Skinwalker Ranch. He works for the U.S. government. He owns Bigelow Air and Space. He's trying to put a Motel 6. That's where he got his billions, is from Motel 6. And he's trying to put a damn hotel in lower Earth orbit so rich people can go stay in space. And now, you know, the Pentagon's saying, I know this is a little off topic, but the Pentagon's saying that there's unexplained things in the air that ain't ours. Well, what are they? Right? What are they? To think there ain't no life out there is just crazy. There's billions of stars out there, billions of planets. Dolly.
Hey, what's up, Dolly? What's happening, man?
Living my best life, America. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Good. I'm calling from LA. You know how we do out here.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You know, a lot of people aren't talking about, I think, the situation that happened in December when he got caught with that weapon.
Gun? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was around the time the baby should have been born, right? And his upcoming court date for that situation is in September. And that's what I think the prosecutors are going to start putting together, asking themselves, what made all this happen? I understand that it's a long-term abuse, and there's a lot of variables in this whole situation, you know, but they knew what they were doing from the get-go. They grabbed him on a Friday to extend that little 72-hour hold.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the sheriff's station, you know, and they just rubbed up on him and did their thing. But that's just how it is. I'm thinking that what it is that he either knew he was going to go away in September for that weapons charge.
Yeah.
And everything was going to go bad for him. And he was really out of it. And I think there's a lot of technical stuff that they found on those phones of them arguing, talking about things besides whatever was pinged, but they thought they erased it or whatever. And that's what's going to come down to it. But it has to come down initially to that. And he was either looking for a way out.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to use this word, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Do you think he sells hugs?
Drugs?
Hug. Yeah, but we're going to say hugs here. Hugs.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that boy got it like that.
Why? Where's his money coming from? And because he don't got no damn job.
I'll tell you right now.
And why would you need a gun? Why would you need a gun?
I'll tell you right now. Exactly. I'll tell you how it is. Where he lives, it's out in the boonies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like his neighbors ain't his neighbors. They, you know what I mean? They're across the way. So they're going to have nothing but time to hang out. To them, a little 50 bag is a big deal. And I honestly think that they're living on people want to call it fraud, but it's just what it is out here in California. That's what they do. You know what I mean? They get, their
Take advantage of the
unemployment.
system.
Yeah, they get their EBT, they get the unemployment. Everything's paid for. Even cell phones are paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So everything is paid for. So they got that. He's living at his mom's or his in-laws. He didn't buy that path, so he's probably not paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just caught up to the guy, and that's what it is. I mean, I'm not saying that she isn't a bad person. She's worse than him. You know what I mean? Because I've seen females, look at me different when I'm like, hey, you shouldn't do that, and then they realize like, whoa, but it's kind of weird. So, what's happening right here, a lot of people are very involved because everyone is talking about it. It's people as you. I didn't listen. I've never even heard of you till that one guy that was in your chat. They kept bragging on him, and he was like, hey, I caught some information from Dolly Vision. And I was like, yeah, that's right, because he knows what he's talking about. Everybody knows what they're talking about. So you're going to get a little insight, and that little insight and all the social media is what keeps everyone else feeling better, because whether it be my friends as a doctor, my other buddy that, he does some legal things, and his wife, everyone's talking about it. Their whole day is involved with what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of interest nationwide in this case, which is a good thing, because that brings the pressure on everybody. I mean, he could have just been easily overlooked. There's a lot of kids that get overlooked. They don't get this type of media attention.
The issue is that these are the things where CPS end up messing up. Children's Services get cases like this, and then every house they go to, whether it might be just a small understanding, it gets blown out of proportion. But that's the way we need it to be. We need them to be involved 100%, trying to figure out every angle. But just like human beings, people feelings get hurt and whatever. So you just got to treat everyone cordially. You get pulled over, do the right thing. Don't act out. That's just how it is. This is life. But the worst part about it is that we know that this shouldn't have gone down this way, and we're hoping that we could feel better tomorrow, knowing that things are getting done the right way. I honestly think also with this whole cop thing, how we're always making fun of them, and just like how we see it in the movies, different departments don't get along. This is my case. Now they're trying to just get mad because you guys are all involved.
Yeah.
But just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I'm telling you, this is a great show. There's a lot of people out there. There's some good shows.
All right.
A lot of people that just got discovered. So
all right, you be good, my man.
Time.
All right, stay safe.
Appreciate you.
Peace. Yeah, listen. My big thing is this: I think the police do a good job. I don't trust them when it comes to me, right? So when they start getting mad at people, my biggest fear is I don't want to get pulled over and they find a kilo of Colombian Bam Bam taped up under the car, and it ain't got nothing to do with me, right? Next thing you know, I'm in prison for 20 years because I was trying to follow a case. That's how I felt in Georgia. I felt like the police would do something bad because they were getting so mad, right? They were getting so mad about YouTubers and the media and all this stuff. And I didn't want them to take it out on me, because y'all remember there was a woman down there with a bullhorn, I ain't gonna say no names, that kept attacking the police. Listen, I don't attack the police. That ain't something I do. I don't mess with the police because I don't want them to mess with me. So I'm not sticking my hand in a hornet's nest. I ain't that damn dumb. Right. And I kept telling that lady in Georgia, I was like, stop attacking the chief of the fucking police. Right. Because this dude could destroy us in a matter of seconds and nobody's going to believe us. Right. And she'd be like, okay, you're right. I won't say nothing else. Then she'd take 5 foot away from me and then go get right on camera talking about he's cheating on his wife and all kinds of shit. I was like, please, God. Right. I just felt like, man, I'm going to end up like Shawshank Redemption. Right. I like, you don't mess with the police. You just don't mess with them people. Just leave them alone. Let them do them and you do you, right? Like how we seen on the Tita kind of, the police telling him to go rest and like him getting mad at the police. And no, just let them say whatever they want to say and you do your own thing. Don't stop what you're doing, but don't get into it with these people. Because listen, some cops are good cops and some cops are bad cops. And I don't want to piss off bad cops, right? Because they already don't like us, right? They don't like social media people. They just don't like us. I ain't met a police department yet that likes social media YouTubers. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of mainstream media don't understand what we do. But, it's a new age. It's a new time. I talked about this the other night. I was like, listen, this is the time for alternative media. So many people are getting their media from alternative sources. You got to kind of learn how to work with us instead of fighting with us. Because if you figure out a way to work with the internet people and the TikTok people, you're going to get more information. You ever heard that saying, you get more bees with honey? So when you're being cool, everything seems to go smoother. But then once one person gets mad and they start attacking, and I don't know what reason the police didn't like what he did. Listen, because he got something wrong, but he retracted it. But the media gets shit wrong, and their video's still up. Okay? Right there that they confess. You can go right to News Nation right now. Jake confesses. We know good and well from the DA there was no confession. We know from the interview that Jake gave, he didn't talk to any other inmates. So it's a lie, but their stuff's still up. You don't hear, what was the police doing? They were praising the mainstream media that's getting shit wrong and then condemning on the Tita because he got something wrong. Why not treat people equally, right? As journalists, sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes the news makes mistakes. We're all human, right? But they wanted to specify when they were thanking people not to thank the YouTubers, right? Well, what did I do? Why not thank me for bringing awareness to thousands and thousands, millions of people? I didn't do nothing, right? Why shit on me? Because when they were shitting on him, they were shitting on all of us that were out there that were TikTokers and YouTubers, not just him. And I did absolutely nothing wrong. I thought I handled myself in the nicest professional way. I was offering the police waters and ice and everything, like the media and everybody. I treated everybody great, right? So when you attack people, and not, they did it as a whole. So it wasn't just an attack on the Tita. It was an attack on me. I'm out there just like him, doing the same things. Not as brash, right? Not as animated as him, but doing basically the same damn thing. So I didn't really like that. I didn't like that they went in on him like that. They should have been thanking him. Thank you, Dolly. You know what I'm saying? I would like to thank you for my hard work, right? But you don't get that. You get what they give you out here. Some people have respect for you and some people don't, and but they're going to realize they're going to realize that us people, us YouTubers and some TikTokers, I ain't a really big TikTok fan, I'll be honest with you. We're taking this shit over. Like it or not, right? Like it or not. This is what I do. If that's what he does, I understand it. Right? There's you start somewhere, and my biggest thing is I've learned from mistakes. This ain't my first rodeo. Okay, this ain't my first rodeo. Everybody here that's been here for a long time know I've been doing this shit for a long time. And over that time, I've learned how to act. I acted wild as hell in the beginning, just as crazy as on the Tita, right? But then I realized, hey, I need to reel that back a little bit, be a little more professional about it, bring people to news, not fight with the neighbors, don't fight with the police, don't go to jail, and if you don't learn from these things, right? Every case I've covered, I've learned something from. And it's a lot different now when everybody's like, Dolly, good job. You did great out there. You were awesome. I didn't get that when I was in Georgia. They're like, dude, you fucking crazy. You out there fighting with the neighbors, going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you think I've already done what he's done. Okay. I went to jail. He didn't go to jail. I went to jail. I already done that stuff. Right. So I learned from that. Nothing against him. You have to learn, right? Like PJ always says, I have to touch the fire. I got to learn everything the hard way. And I have, but the key thing is I've learned how to act, how to be, right? When to raise a little hell and when not to. That is it's a fine line, right? It's a fine line. Like there's some people you can say stuff to, but then there's people you need to treat with the utmost respect. And it's a slippery slope, right? And I'm sure the dude, he's gonna figure that out. The more true crime that he covers and how to, because I just think you get more bees with honey than you do raising hell and showing out, right? I can tell you this. I mean, people like the craziness when it's wild and crazy and like, a lot of action. I don't think it really helps these days. Like with me fighting with the neighbors in Georgia and all that stuff, did it help the situation down there in Georgia? No, it didn't. It didn't help none. It just added to the circus. And I lost my temper. I let people get to me. I know better than that now. You say something to me now, like when that neighbor came out raising hell, I didn't say nothing to that neighbor. I was like, oh, hell no, I didn't learn my lesson about that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn my lesson about saying something to the neighbors because all it does is escalate. And then once you say something that pisses me off, now I'm ready to fight. And now I'm going to go to jail out here in California, right? Oh, hell no, right? I done been there. I done did that. So I don't know. They shouldn't have never attacked the way they did. And it was a slap in the face to everybody who helped make this a national case. This is what I felt like. I think it took everybody to make this a national case, right? I think Onatita held the flag, waved the flag, but it took a lot more than him to make it a national case, okay? So it took a lot of people, and it took a lot of people sharing this story to get it to where it got. And when they slapped him, they also slapped all of us too, right? And made it out to be like all of us are bad. And I don't feel that way. I don't even feel like what he's doing is bad. I think he's learning on the fly and maybe he'll watch his video and go, he's probably right. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm right. I don't think I'm right. I know I'm right. Right. It's one of those days. Because like I said, I done did this. This ain't the first one. This ain't the second one. This, you know what I'm saying? I done got the warrants to show it. You know what I'm saying? I was on the tier. Okay. And that's what it means. For anybody that kept saying it means on the strip or on the ground, it means on the tier, like the prison tier. Okay. That's what it means. So on the Tita means on the prison tier. Okay. And I've been on the tier. All right. I done been in the pods. I done done that. Right. So, because I watched him do an interview and he said on the interview, they asked him what it meant. And he said, it means on the tier. And if you don't know what the tier is, that's the damn, that's the level of the floor that you're on. Right. Like, locked up, I was on the second tier. So, the grandparents left for Alaska. That is true in the Sebastian Rogers case. So, hopefully, everything will go smooth in this and these people will get convicted. You saw that interview? Yeah. So that's what it means. So if there's any confusion, I know a lot of people translate it differently, but when they asked him, he said, this is what it means. It means on the tier. The pressure from the media. Yes. It took a lot of people to put that pressure. Okay. And that's not only just YouTubers, but the community, them people standing out in front of that house. We got them to thank. So when you slap us, you kind of slapping the people that were standing out there too. Everybody that brought attention to this should have been thanked. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this to attention. Thank you for putting eyes on this case. Right. We did so many views that, and so many people, and for so many hours out there live streaming it, like it helped spread awareness and build into the crazy shit that it is, and And for them to tell him that he needs to step down, well, why don't you tell News Nation, or why don't you tell these other big organizations that got stuff wrong to step down or not to cover a kid's case? It's not your place to tell another human being what they can and cannot do. That man is a grown ass man. He can do whatever he wants to do. Is it right? Is it wrong? That's a different story. But does he have the right to do what he's doing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like I do. Some people think, hey, some people don't like what I do. It just is what it is. I'm not here to make you like what I do. But if you don't like it, it's not going to stop me from covering these cases, going to these cases, doing all this stuff that I do, searching for kids. It's not going to stop me. I do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm a grown ass man. If the police tell me not to do it, as long as I'm not breaking any law, I'm not listening to them people. I don't work for the police. I work for myself. I work for my viewers, my constituents. Just playing. I'm just playing. Y'all ain't constituents. I'm just joking. The whole thing, I like to pick and play a little bit, guys. So don't ever get sensitive and think I'm being, mean to people. I'm not. I'm just picking and playing because I like to joke a lot, right? I like to joke, and some people think I'm picking on that guy. I'm not. I add humor to what I do. It's just part of me being a big goofball that I am. And it's never nothing personal to me, I think there's room for everybody out here. Everybody does things a little bit differently, and it depends what you enjoy watching, but on YouTube, I have to say there's something for everybody, right? There's somebody that you're going to enjoy. And I honestly hope there's more people that do what Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's me.
It's me
This
too.
is Kathy from Louisiana.
Hey, what's going on?
I think I call in almost every weekend because y'all keep me awake at work. I work night.
Oh, okay.
So I always tune in. And the reason that these police officers are coming down on, so say, TikTokers and YouTubers and not regular media is because your regular media is only repeating what the cops are telling them. They're not going to investigate like social media people are, digging, talking to other people, bringing it forward, which is creating more pressure on the cops to do something. Whereas regular media, just like I said, regurgitate what the cops say. And, oh, well, no new news. So people just look at it and go on about their business. But social media, on the other hand, like you said, people are tuning in. The more they talk about it, the more the case builds, the more people get mad, the more pressure is put on those cops. And they can't just lay back like they normally do and go on about their business. That's why they're angry at social media people.
Yeah, I know. It's the pressure that it puts on them. It's the eyes that are looking. They're used to nobody watching, and now they got to do something because everybody's watching them, wanting them to do something. Yeah, I've seen it so many times, and I know that's the reason they don't like me, and I'm sure it's the same reason they don't like On the Tita is because they don't want all them eyes on them. They want to do everything on the DL, but internet, we don't play that anymore. We want transparency.
Exactly. And the public has come, mainstream media has come to realize that they are no longer the news that people tune into anymore. Like you have said many times, it is social media people that are over there covering that the public tune into. And you know why? Because they can see it happening firsthand. Also, what they say, what they speak out on and what they want to see, the social media content creator takes that into mind and they cover it, or they take phone calls like you're doing, and they're whatever they're thinking and whatever they're opinion is about the case comes to the forefront, whereas the mainstream media, they only get whatever those questions are, whatever the cops want out, and it doesn't matter what the public is asking or anything. They have a company that they have to abide by the rules.
I want to clear this up real quick because there's a comment that says reality TV sells too. Reality TV is not real. What we do is real TV.
It's real.
It's real. Okay. There's no script. There's no acting. You're watching it live as it happens. That is real TV. That's not reality TV. That is real TV. That is the difference in a lot of it, because reality TV, we see like these shows, they're scripted. They're fake. Reality TV is fake TV. YouTube, what we do up here is real TV. All right.
Correct. And that's why y'all getting the views. And that's also why, like I said, the cops hate y'all. And another thing is behind this case,
I don't want to be hated by the police though. That's my thing. I don't want to be hated by the police. I'd rather work with the police and be friendly to the police. It's just sometimes the police, you say your social media and they just think you're a joke. But what's the difference between a social media reporter and a news reporter? There's no difference. And even now I own a media group, right? So what's the difference? Just like somebody owns Fox News, I own DOLLY Media Group. It's basically the same thing. So, I mean, it's both corporations. We both pay taxes. So what's the difference between them and me? At this point, there's no difference. I should get the same respect they get.
You should. But the difference is, like I said, you're putting pressure on them, and they're now, the public is saying, do your job. Stand up and investigate and do your job. Give us some answers, not all this fluff that you've been given all these years. It's time to stand up and tell us what we want to know. Quit sitting at the office with your feet up on the desk, visiting with everybody and having affairs.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's how it is.
Yeah, definitely. Do your job.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, look.
I mean, I've been in a case like this firsthand. I can't even watch the Madeline Soto case because my stepdad, did all that to me from 4 to 12 years old.
Yeah,
and
horrible.
my mom didn't know how to get out the situation. So she actually got on top of a bridge with me and my sister, and she was going to jump off.
Oh,
But
wow.
she said she knew once she threw one of us in that she couldn't go through with the rest. And she'd spend her life in prison. The other one would end up with him living a life of hell anyway. So she just didn't do it. But she was like so caught up in it. She said she didn't know what to do to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm glad you made it through all that. You know, that's
you know how I made it
situation.
through? It's crazy, but you know how I made it through?
Go ahead.
A cop that was investigating all this fell in love with my mom, and he got her out of the situation and moved us to a whole nother area where I wasn't even around this man anymore.
Well, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Now, look, you be good.
Amen.
Stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right.
All right.
Have a
Peace.
good evening. Bye.
You too. I remember when we were talking Maddie Soto, and it affected so many people because there were so many people just here in my chat that similar things had happened to. So, I mean, and it's hard to get through something like that. And people don't realize how bad that stuff like that. Thank you for gifting that membership, Bubby. That stuff like that F you up for the rest of your life. It's like a scar that never heals. You know, in some of these cases, open them scars. It's so horrible to see. Dolly.
Dolly. This is Jen.
Hey, Jen.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. Getting ready to go to bed in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah. I know that feeling. I have an interesting question.
Okay.
When this guy was convicted of the first offense with this younger child. Was he on probation at the time, or was he?
No, I don't think so. No. I think he hurt the child, then he got put on probation, then he violated it with a firearm.
And he violated it with, but he was still violated though, correct?
After he got the charge for the kid, he got charged with possession of a firearm, which violated his probation for the kid. And he had court in September for that.
And that's for the first one.
Yes.
So he can still be, okay. I was just wondering about that because.
Yeah, he still has to stand trial for that.
He can still be tied in with both of these then.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to prison for the first one. He's about to do those 4 years for the first one, and plus whatever they give him on this, which is going to be the rest of his life. He's never getting out.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I thought, because I was thinking something else. It's like, well, I'll
say they'll sentence him to so long he should die in prison, but with California releasing people, he may get out. You know what I'm saying? But he should get a sentence that he shouldn't get out.
Well, the thing of it is, where was his probation officers or his CPS or whatever, while he was out in the first place to even have another child in the first place?
You would think when he had a child, they would be investigating to make sure that child was safe, seeing he had felony charges for hurting a child. I don't know. CPS failed Emmanuel. They did. I mean, it's no joke. A lot of people failed. That judge that let him out failed Emmanuel. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened to lead to this. And there's a lot of people that should feel a little bit guilty about this because some people could have stopped this and they didn't.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't have been around another child to begin with. So
No.
How could he have had another child and kept it with Rebecca?
I don't know, because Rebecca, I don't know. I don't know. You would think they would do something, but this is a different woman. He didn't have a kid with the same woman, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's horrible.
Wouldn't that be on the terms of this, first probation?
That he shouldn't have been around.
Stay away
kids?
from children.
I would think so. Stay away. Yeah, totally. That means don't have children. Don't be around kids. You would think that, right? You would totally think that.
That doesn't mean have a child that you can be around.
Yeah,
so you can be around it.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, make it make sense. It just, and with the probation officers, it's like, why is this woman pregnant?
Well, she got pregnant.
What are you doing?
She spread them legs. I mean, I know why she's pregnant, but
yeah, I mean,
why didn't CPS step up is the bigger question, I think. And and why did this lady go along with this and choose this man over her baby? That's the hard part to understand. Having a baby ain't hard to understand. Her sticking with a man that was abusing her and her kid, that's the hard part to understand.
Oh my God. When are they going to learn that, men come and go?
Yeah. We ain't shit.
Are supposed to be forever.
It just is what it is.
Children are forever.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's like once you have a child, it's supposed to be forever.
I mean, like as a child, I would hope that she would pick her child every day over me without even thinking about it. And the same thing for me. I wouldn't, if you put me in a situation, of course, I'm going to have to go with my daughter every time, right? And just like she would have to go with her daughter, I would understand that because the kids come first. So.
Well, yeah, they have to. I mean, as I said, I'm sorry that, people get divorced or separated or whatever, and they happen to have a child, but they come first.
Yeah, like like I said, if me and PJ's daughter was hanging off a cliff and she could only save one, I would expect her to save her child.
Yeah.
You know, I just truly would. Women shouldn't be put in a situation one where they have to pick between a man and their child. That is crazy to me. That's just crazy to me.
Exactly. And have two black eyes. And I mean, that, after that, I don't know why she didn't leave in the first place, gather that baby and just take off.
That we don't know. But look, you be good, stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time. All right. Peace. All right, well, let me give my speech real quick. Ladies, if you're in an abusive relationship, get out while you can, while you're alive. Even if it's a mentally abusive relationship, usually it starts off mentally abusive, then it becomes physically abusive. And next thing you know, you're wrapped up in a carpet in a dumpster somewhere. You can avoid that by just kicking rocks. Shit don't get better. People don't change. You cannot fix a broken man. Okay. Once we broke, we broke. Okay. But there's so many women that think they can change a man. I see it all the time. Oh, I think I can mold him into the man. No, you can't. You cannot. You absolutely can't do that. You can't do it. Right? People don't change. I'll be the same goofball. You know, PJ might want me to take things serious. I don't want to take shit. So I'm a goofy. Okay. A big old goofy. That ain't going to change. So I'm telling you, you cannot change these broken people. You know, and every woman thinks they can fix a man. All of you. You know, but you can't. I'm telling you, as a man, you can't do that. It's a myth. It's like a unicorn or a damn leprechaun or a Bigfoot. Okay. It just ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. Only you can change yourself. That's right. If I want to change this with me to change me, other people can't change me. They can suggest things, but it got to be, the change has to come from you. Right. So just, anybody in any bad situation, protect yourself and don't be dependent on anybody unless you know for a fact that they love you with all their heart and they have all their best interests in mind for you. And then you can be dependent on somebody. Okay. But until you know that, don't depend on anybody.